For real? Oh, no. Let's go.
Boston.
State of always. In Berkeley, California. You got it. This one's for three. AJ Hawk, $5,000. USA, USA,
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey, what? Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this Big GM Tuesday, April 28th, 2026, this program begins now. Sports are the absolute greatest, and we're so incredibly lucky that we get a chance to chat about them every single day. And this is Big GM Tuesday. We wouldn't say that unless we had some GM stuff happening, and it would have to be big. Well, Les Snead, general manager of the Los Angeles Rams, in the middle of this Ty Simpson situation that has been brewing since the 13th pick of the 2026 NFL draft. Ty Simpson, obviously quarterback from Alabama. We all learned of him quickly as an NFL prospect, as Dan Orlovsky said he was the best quarterback in this draft by far through his tape study. He liked Fernando Mendoza. He loved Ty Simpson. Turns out what he was thinking was not just his own thoughts. It was also Les Snead's thoughts of the Los Angeles Rams alongside Sean McVay. Now, when the draft pick takes place, obviously the world explodes. Dan Orlovsky was actually on our show. He chugged an IC Light Mango at a celebration, did a couple laps, kept banging his microphone off of a desk, so his mic would boom, and then my mic would also boom.
Correct.
So he's kind of ruining the entire draft spectacular from an audio standpoint, but he was taking a victory lap because he knew that the film was telling the truth that he thought he was seeing. Now, he's a first-round draft pick. He's going to be the backup behind Matthew Stafford for however long Matthew Stafford would like, is what Sean McVay said. But Sean McVay also said, yeah, okay, to Ty Simpson on draft night when he said, let's make history together. And there was also a lot of moments where he was saying, you know, he'll be battling with Stetson Bennett and like trying to make sure Ty knew his place in this entire thing. Then Ty Simpson afterwards would say, I never met Sean McVay. Can't wait to get to work with him. So we're like, we see these pictures of Sean McVay's face when he's mean mugging. Then we hear that he never met Sean McVay. And Les Snead now is friends with this guy's dad. So, what the hell is going on with this pick? And how Dan Orlovsky potentially know that this entire thing was happening. Then it comes out afterwards, Sean McVay's happy, just wants Matthew Stafford to know that this is his team. And then Ty Simpson goes on with Ian Fitzsimmons, Amber and Ian. We love Ian.
Yeah, we do.
The man.
He is the man. He gives us
smelling salts.
Smelling salts on the sideline of Field Pass to wake us up at every college football game. Not that we need it, but he basically gives us a speech about look around, and then he cracks these things open, and then we're all as if we're about to go into the thing. Ty Simpson was on with Ian Fitzsimmons, and this is what he said just yesterday.
You know what's crazy is we tried to keep this under wraps as long as we could. It was something to where I knew they were interested, but they wanted to make it private and didn't want people to know that they were interested. So I had some secret meetings with Coach McVay, and I just was trying to be on script and do what everybody told me and not to tell anybody. So it was something to where I knew that they were interested. I just didn't know when. And then sure enough, I had a lot of confidence in myself, and that's why I decided to come out. If it wasn't them, I felt like that it was going to be somebody else.
You mentioned secret meetings there. So take us behind the scenes. What was that like when you first met Sean McVay, and then before the draft and then after the draft?
Good follow-up. Mm-hmm.
No, it was great. We met at the facility, and it was something to where, we just talked for hours and hours, and it was just football. It was just straight football. And it was like a kid in a candy store. Where me and him are sitting there, and we're just going back and forth. Just you can tell the obsession he has for the game, and you can tell the the love he has for quarterback play. It's something that I appreciate, and it's something that I enjoy because I really enjoy playing the position and value the position.
Okay, so that has people saying, well, is this Ty Simpson or Lie Simpson? I can't wait to hear what the actual story is. Les Snead, the general manager of the Los Angeles Rams, will join us in 25 minutes or so. Feels like Ty Simpson is maybe one of the nicest guys of all time and didn't know what the right move was, but I think Les Snead will hopefully clarify it a little bit from their side and also chit-chat about where the Rams stand at this exact moment. They use a first-round pick from this year to get McDuffie in and the defensive secondary, who's a stud. Yep. They get a quarterback of the future. Now you get another piece there to potentially go and win yourself a Super Bowl this year. Maybe people will celebrate, but you're thinking about the future. And you also get McDuffie. It's like an interesting game they got to play right now. They got vets that are great. They got a young defense that's hungry. They got studs all over the place. Can win now, also have to plan for the future. Les Snead used to be a fuck them picks guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're trying to win the Super Bowl in Los Angeles here to win over the fans and also kind of jumpstart this entire Sean McVay operation that we have over here. They went all in. Now they're on the other side of it. They had 2 first-rounders this year because they had the Atlanta Falcons whenever they make the trade last year for this year's first-round pick. That ends up being the pick for Ty Simpson. So if you go for the Atlanta Falcons' last couple first-round picks, it was Michael Penix out of nowhere.
Yep.
For a backup quarterback situation to a vet who had a lot of money in a contract. And then the Falcons pick this year, first round, 13 overall, Los Angeles Rams, backup quarterback Ty Simpson, which everybody was kind of surprised for. So maybe the Falcons pick next year. Let's keep an eye on that and see what the trend is going to continue to be. But I'm excited to hear from Les Snead, who has built a winner multiple times, multiple different ways, and has to pay people multiple different times. I can't thank him enough for joining us in about 25 minutes to break down everything that's going on with Ty not meeting, then he is meeting. Then they're loving each other, hours, kid in a candy store.
What's going on?
What's going on? Is this a love affair that's happening? That's why Sean McVay had to sell it so hard on afterwards. He's, I don't know the fucking guy.
I love Stafford.
He's bad, man. And did Stafford know they're doing ours? Oh, so much drama, controversy. Not like the controversy that was across the street from the draft in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm sure they put up record numbers.
Oh, yeah.
For what they just went through down there or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But this is certainly something that'll get figured out. I'm excited for Les Snead. Also, Nick Caserio, Houston Texans general manager, will join us in the second hour. He's fresh off of just drafting dogs all over the place. And, they just made Will Anderson the highest paid non-quarterback in the history of the NFL. So congratulations to him having a monster team down in Houston and also building, from the messaging we're getting from the building a dogs-only type of culture down there in Houston, which is obviously scary in the AFC South. Don't love that. I guess Mr. Rutledge is just mean cuss.
Yeah, freaking nature.
I guess he's just a mean cuss.
Red?
Caden McDonald, D-tackle from Ohio State that I got a chance to see and watch him get drafted there on the second night backstage. He paints his whole face.
It's cool.
He paints his whole... That guy right there who... Seems, it's obviously incredible family. I got a chance to meet them. I got a chance to meet the whole family, talk to the whole family. Love Caden, loved his vibes. He gets on a football field. Here's me and his whole family meeting. Boom! He paints his entire face. He's ready to go to absolute war. It feels like Caserio has a type. I'm excited to hear what that is. I'm excited to hear where they think they are. And what's going on with C.J. Stroud? What's going on with C.J. Stroud? How do you feel about him? He did look very thin at a workout just like a week or two ago. We'll also be joined by Q Rich, Pete Thamel, and this should be a great day. I'm talking sports. The Talks Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Ty, right now is where we kind of start breaking down all the fallout from the draft. We enjoy the playoffs, but all eyes are on the regular season. Are the Green Bay Packers going to win? Because I heard Micah Parsons is getting in fights with Le'Veon Bell on the internet.
Yeah, he's been mixing it up a little bit because
that's Micah Parsons football.
Yeah. Exactly. And that was kind of the thing that all Packers fans knew when we got Micah Parsons is, hey, guess what? When football's not being played, there's going to be stuff like this. Okay, he's going to be mixing it up with guys. He's going to be going on draft shows and taking shots at Philly like he's still playing for the Cowboys. He's a dog. What are you going to do? Sometimes you got to just unchain the dog, let him roam. I could care less what he does outside of getting arrested. Do whatever you want in the offseason. That's your time, brother. You do what you got to do. You say what you got to say, and then come football season, when we get you back in there, you're ready to roll.
Got to focus on football, though, out there in New England. Is that what you're
saying? Exactly. I would say, the getting arrested rule is good. Probably there's some other things that maybe you could throw in there. Probably just stay away from. But, it is all
they got a playlist now.
Look.
We can't.
That is too far. It's turning into a witch hunt.
Every day.
It stops now. It's turning into a witch hunt. It's bullshit, okay? And we have to remember there are 2 damn families involved, okay?
He's right. We should turn the page.
One half of the hammer. Cowboys.
Is that the name of the playlist?
Here.
No, you son of a bitch. That's not the name of it. And I'm sick of this slander. It's bullshit, all right? Let's move on to ball.
We are moving on to ball. You look phenomenal today.
Thank you.
I really like what you're doing here.
Man in black, baby.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Believe me, I respect it more than anybody else out there. Can we start getting some ideas on how we can get the crown? I know Sidney Crosby has started to play really good hockey right now. Tanger's scoring all over the place. The boys are buzzing. The Flyers look a little lost. Hey,
they do, don't they?
Hey, they started to look like their stupid mascot. What's that thing's name?
Gritty.
There it is.
Fuzzy.
Playing Pittsburgh, saying you're gritty.
Yeah. Okay.
But his eyeballs, like this. That's kind of what the Flyers look like right now because they're in a Sidney Crosby buzzsaw. How you doing? Keep it moving. Sidney Crosby in 7 was almost the name of today's show before we found out that both GMs could join us. Big GM Tuesday. But what do we need to know other than just betting on Sidney Crosby right now that can maybe bring the crown home in the NBA and the NHL? A lot of action every night right now.
Yep.
We are in a prime time to be watching sport, to be gambling on sport, but I would like to win and maybe get a crown or two every once in a while.
Yeah, this week is actually a really, really good week for betting. And speaking of Philly and gritty, if that bell would have been made with U.S. steel, it wouldn't have cracked. Okay, so just something to think about.
Okay.
But no, what?
What are bells made out of, just so we know? What normally?
Probably some sort of bronze or brass.
Okay.
But if it would have been steel, it wouldn't have cracked.
Right,
I just promise you that.
Probably accurate.
But no, I mean, this is a really awesome time because you have the NHL playoffs every night. You have the NBA playoffs every night. You have a full lineup of baseball every single day. There is an elevated event for the PGA Tour this week, so you're going to get that. And then at the end of the week, you get the most betting thing of all time for degenerates, the Kentucky Derby at the end of the week. So this is kind of like, this is one of the best weeks of gambling you can have basically of all year to get the crown. There's a lot of options. Hockey's tough. I mean, those are 1-goal games. Those are back and forth. Besides the couple that were that just went clean sweep 4-0, and then the NBA this year, out of all years, like, and you look at it last night with the Stones losing again to the Magic, like, it's been kind of unpredictable in the NBA as well. So good luck getting the crown is kind of what I'm saying.
It feels like one of the automatic crowns, at least for the past few games, is Cade Cunningham over on turnovers.
Yeah, no kidding.
I agree. Yeah, he's really putting the over in turnovers, isn't he? What's he? Everybody's trying to be Tyrese Halliburton. Is that what I read in the group text?
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to be Tyrese whenever the lights get the brightest, and all of a sudden the ball doesn't just on a string for everybody.
And then the Magic are just
I can't blame Cade Cunningham because his center, his all-star, a guy that was supposed to be on the Olympic USA team, starting center, Jalen Durant hasn't showed up. He's non-existent. Oh, no. He stinks. So when that happens, everything in the offense is going to change. Last night, I'll say it, was the worst basketball game I've ever watched in my life. High school, college, NBA, you name it.
You've seen some bad Michigan State basketball games.
Trust me when I say these guys, brick. Other side, brick, turnover. It was the worst game I've ever seen. It was the ugliest game I've ever seen. If you want to watch bad basketball, you watch Pistons versus Magic. It's insane.
Well, the Magic are kind of continuing to move there. The Pistons, number 1 overall seed in the East, kind of shiting the bed right now, right in front of us. Maybe they're not ready for the moment. Maybe they need another year. Good luck to them. But it's certainly a good time to make fun of your Detroit friends because they thought the Pistons were going to certainly go on a run for them. They have not. 9-year NFL vet, Darius J. Butler is here. D-Butts, obviously, NHL playoffs are without your team, the Florida Panthers, this year. The NBA playoffs, obviously electrifying. We'll be joined by Q Rich here in a matter of moments. This Ty Simpson NFL fallout and with Caserio coming on today. What are you most excited to talk about? What do you think is the big news around the NFL at this exact moment?
Honestly, the Ty Simpson. I want to see what GM Les Snead has to say about that and the other moves. Obviously, he made the Trent McDuffie the highest paid corner in the league, so I'm excited to talk to him about that as well. And then Nick, right here in our division, we all know Nick very well. I'm interested to see what he has to say as well. I'm excited about those GM conversations. And then NBA basketball, the playoffs are still on a hot start, so I love Q Rich. As well, so I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I love Q Rich. We'll talk to him in about an hour. I have the wrong time in front of me for that.
A lot of moving parts.
What we don't have and what we haven't brought up is the Aaron Rodgers unrestricted free agent tender, okay, which the Pittsburgh Steelers have placed on Aaron Rodgers. I believe that allows them to still receive a compensatory pick if he was to go to another team or play this upcoming season. I think it also means that if Aaron Rodgers doesn't sign with another team by the beginning of training camp, he won't be allowed to. Basically, he has to play for the Steelers. So a decision has to be made by the beginning of training camp if he was going to play elsewhere. There was some conjecture from an Adam Schefter tweet that initially rolled this out that basically said, like, the Steelers have the right to match or the right of first refusal. I guess that's not exactly true, but they will get compensatory pick if he was to go to another team, and that decision has to be made before training camp as opposed to something that happens afterwards. From our understanding of this rarely used tender, I guess, which has an unrestricted free agent now restricted a little bit.
Never heard of this.
Maybe.
How does that work?
I guess it's been used before, is what we were told.
Yeah.
In the years past, I guess.
J.K. Dobbins was the last one, I believe, last year or the year before that.
Okay, so now the big question is, do they think Aaron's potentially going to play for somebody else, which is why they want a compensatory pick? Okay, that feels like big news, if that is the news. And how is Aaron going to react to them? There's just so much drama potentially around this entire thing on all sides. Interesting move that I have not seen, and I had no idea this has been used before by teams. This feels like quite a loss by the NFLPA in negotiations of the CBA, that a guy who's played in the NFL for
24? Yeah, it's like 23rd or 24th area.
20. He had. What if his decision was, I'm gonna wait till see if somebody gets hurt, go into a place, maybe be a mercenary here, towards the end of my career. It's like, nope, actually you can't do that. You have to decide you're gonna do that before the season even starts. Like, that's an interesting little thing that I didn't know existed. And shout out to, I guess, the NFL's lawyers for negotiating this in there, because what an interesting little tactic to keep somebody kind of having to live in your world as opposed to their own world.
I mean, I guess I'm just a fool. I thought this would all be sorted out by the draft.
Yeah.
I guess we are still on Aaron Rodgers' timeline, and now with this wrinkle here, this is interesting. I'm sure more details will probably come out about this, but this is very, very. And what are those? What will be those other landing places, especially right after the draft, where everybody has filled whatever needs they have at the quarterback position? We know injuries always happen, but I mean, Aaron, at this stage in his career, would you go somewhere and learn a new offense? Like we all, even with Mike Tomlin, we went on NBC, say, "Hey, gun to head, Aaron's going to be the quarterback." Tone, you back and forth.
I am not back and forth. See you later, dude.
What?
Okay. All right. So I guess that's how Steelers Nation
Come on,
feels.
Tone.
Yeah, maybe the Arizona Cardinals with another LaFleur.
Yeah?
The immediate thought last year, if this conversation would have been happening, is the Minnesota Vikings, because the Minnesota Vikings were potentially going to be in play with Kevin O'Connell's offense, and they got Justin Jefferson, and obviously they got Addison. They had Aaron Jones last year. I mean, they had weapons all over the place. B-Flow on defense, you'd expect them to have success. They bring in Kyler Murray. Kyler now basically going to be their guy. Tua ends up where? In Atlanta.
Yeah.
And then Miami is
Malik
Willis.
Yep.
I mean, the Browns aren't scared to add another
You
quarterback.
can go back to the Jets, maybe.
I mean, you're right. The Browns could potentially add another
That does
quarterback.
sound like Rodgers. Go play for the Browns in his last year.
Join a room.
Judy.
Join a room.
Yeah, join a room. Okay.
But a contract offer's out there now. We know it's $15 million, right? 1 year, $15 million. That's kind of what this tender does. So Aaron can't say that there's not a contract offer out there anymore.
It's a 10% raise of a last year's salary, which would pay him about $15 million, says Schefter. But if that was $10 million, wouldn't that be $11 million then instead of $15 million? Whatever the case is, this particular tender has placed the amount of money in a formal offer, I guess, from the Pittsburgh Steelers to Aaron Rodgers has now been publicly made, I believe, is what this would be. Yeah. And compensatory picks if he was to go elsewhere.
Yeah, and it kind of puts a deadline on Aaron now that if you do want to play for another team or whatever, you need to do it by the time camp comes, because we'd also like to know what our quarterback situation by the time we open camp.
You got Will Howard and Drew Howard.
What?
And Mason.
And Mace, dog.
Sounds like you are ready to turn the page.
Yeah, vibes-wise, I am.
Yeah, why though? Why are you so weird? Good time. Pittsburgh just had 8,000.
Pittsburgh had a great time.
Folks come through the NFL draft.
And all the players were saying, like, hey, if Aaron doesn't come back, Will Howard's our guy. They're all speaking glowingly of him. He's at a Luke Combs concert, shotgun and beers. He's not trying to find the stars or whatever he's doing out there. Okay, he knows he wants. Will knows he wants to play
We don't know what his
ball.
process will be if he plays 23 years in the NFL.
What do you mean find the stars?
Unbelievable. Will Howard is a good leader, though, they say. I'm not saying that Aaron isn't, but it was very obvious that Will Howard was QB1 at the Pittsburgh Penguins game that we went to. Both in the parking lot before we went in, they were waiting for Will when Will got there, QB1. Whenever he was in the Pittsburgh Penguins building, it's a hockey night in Pittsburgh. Will Howard in the middle of that entire thing. I believe at a ribbon cutting ceremony, Will Howard was very much Will Howard acting like QB1 around teammates. Yeah. And I guess that's because he is, right?
Technically, as of right now, as the Phase 1 minicamp, whatever, last week, yes, he was QB1.
And he also came out and said, if Aaron comes back, cool, I get another year watching Aaron Rodgers. If not, I'm ready to go. It's feels like I have believed in Will Howard longer, I think, than
you have.
You have, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Longer than most.
Yeah.
And
Still do.
And from what we saw from him, and at the combine, freezing cold, warm up the arm, doing the entire thing, going through a situation.
That's right.
No cameras, just so happened to have an employee that we happen to know walking by at the time because we're in Indianapolis. We were called liars for saying that. No, Will Hart's not out there in 25-degree weather working or whatever. And it was like, actually.
He was.
Actually, he was. Everything we saw out of him with Ohio State, he had a celebration with every guy on the team. Mm-hmm. He was brought in for big money. They had 2 losses during the regular season, obviously Oregon and Michigan. They got the flag planted in their face. That team could have turned against him. That team could have completely turned against him and said, it's your fault, dude. Our team was really good. You come in here, we're ass. This is on you because he made a couple bad plays. Oregon slides in there. Michigan, we think he potentially got knocked out, but didn't play his best football game there. That team could have killed him. Mm-hmm. The fans were.
Oh, yeah.
That team could have killed. And instead, it was the complete opposite through the entire playoff run. And then they win a national championship. It was like, I think I believe in that guy. And he's also gigantic.
Huge.
And he can move. And I think that's a big deal in the NFL.
Also, it's kind of like a thing where you find out about your future if Will does get the start this year. People said this about this draft class this year, and turned out it was just Mendoza and Ty Simpson. But if the draft class turns out to be what it is next year, you kind of want to find out what you have in the building right now, and you're not going to do that with Aaron.
Okay, let's pivot away from the NFL and let's go to a massive scandal in college football.
Yeah, huge.
This is a big deal for all of sports, certainly collegiate sports, because there's a lot more athletes in that. Gambling becoming as readily available and prevalent as it is to society has certainly become a little bit of adversity for leagues having to monitor their own players and coaches. Obviously, Pete Rose is who everybody kind of points to in the sports world whenever you get drafted into a professional team or you're playing college football or college sports of all. Me, and D-Butt have had to sit through numerous meetings at every single level saying, don't be Pete Rose, do not gamble, do not put the integrity of the game ever in question. If you do that, it can ruin it for everybody. That is still very real, but gambling is much easier to do as opposed to the backseaty days that was always happening, but certainly not as easily available. Now, we have a story that is rocking college football. Brendan Sorsby, formerly of the University of Cincinnati, transferred to Texas Tech as the number 1 quarterback in the transfer portal. The guy was an absolute stud at Cincy. Texas Tech has all-stars all across the board. They got a lot of money from They take shovels out there, and they go down, and then there's this. They literally live on top of what provides for them, which is just oil down there.
That's right.
They got a lot of oil. They're building a monster down there. They have a monster down there. Obviously, number 2 overall pick, David Bailey, is from Texas Tech. That's only going to continue with what they were able to do. Brendan Sorsby, highly sought after by everybody. Texas Tech wins the battle. They're going to go. Now he's in a residential treatment for a gambling addiction. And it's come out that he gambled on games in which he was a part of the team at Indiana his freshman year, even though he did not play, which was the school he was at before Cincinnati. Then there was a report that there was over 1,000 bets made. And then there was some baseball bets allegedly made for like $1 or $2.50. Now we await what is going to happen for all of this. We assume massive suspension or penalty to Brendan Sorsby, but the man who will know is the man who put out all these tweets. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, the authority of college sports, Pete Thamel. Pete, thank you for joining us. Every time you join us, it's seemingly something super serious. That is why we bring you in here. You are the man for the job. This is a big deal, obviously, not only for Sorsby, his family, his trajectory, Texas Tech, but college football as a whole. Can you kind of take us where we're at, how they found out, and what's possible with this entire thing?
Yeah, Pat, let's start with the macro. I think culturally you touched on it. This is a giant story. He will become the first face of collegiate gambling. There has obviously been other instances, even some of the college basketball gambling stuff that I came on your show about a little while ago, came out today in terms of prop bets and everything. But he is the first major college athlete to be the centerpiece of this. This is someone who projected as a first-round pick in the 2027 NFL draft. He's a $5 million plus portal edition. He was number 1 in Max Wilson's ESPN portal ranks this year. Brendan Sorsby is one of the faces of college football. So for him to come out, enter a gambling addiction in-house treatment is residential treatment, I should say, is just certainly like an eye-popping moment for the sport, for gambling, and the intersection of gambling and sports has never been more together. Like you said, everything's available on your hand and such. So I think what people want to know, Pat, is, will he play college football again? And he, I would say he faces long odds to do that right now. If you dial into what the NCAA has listed in terms of potential punishments for what he's accused of doing, that if you bet on your own team, while you are a member of that team, you face a permanent ban, and so that is sort of the odds that Brendan Sorsby is up against. Is there leniency for him coming out and admitting it? Is there is there an evolution in thought because of the pervasiveness of the gambling? Those are all things that are being bandied around right now. But by the pure letter of the law, it would be he faces a long uphill climb in order to play football at Texas Tech next year. And he certainly doesn't have any other eligibility past that. He's played 4 redshirt and then played 3. So this is his final actual year of eligibility.
Okay, so thank you for all of that. You use some words in there that are awesome, and I'll try to use them later. Bandy about, yeah, whatever it is in its entirety. So it said it was a gambling app, so that would mean that they can track all of his bets. Mm-hmm. The people that will be investigating him at the NCAA will be able to see all of his bets, right? Will we publicly be able to know all of his bets? Because obviously we've heard of this freshman bet at IU when he wasn't playing, and he bet on them to win, allegedly, is what it all is. I'm not saying that means he should be okay because he bet on them to win. We cannot. I've stood pretty firm as somebody who has got into sports gambling, as a retired athlete, as somebody that comes from Pittsburgh. Okay, as somebody that knows a lot of people that have my entire life have been doing this, the people playing the sport and the people covering the sport talking about gambling are two very different things. And the people that are playing the sport know that, and they've been told that their entire life. It's for the good of the entire everything. I mean, you can't have people questioning whether or not a game is rigged or if everybody's trying to work against it. That takes down all of sports. So I understand people are going to attack us because we obviously promote DraftKings at this point, and DraftKings is all over our stuff, and we talk about sports gambling. That's because the fans and the people covering it can treat sports gambling a little bit differently than the people that are actually playing it. There's a responsibility. There is a accountability process of, like, whenever you're playing the sport, you are, and it sucks that this is happening during their era, but you are what society is betting on. You cannot be a part of the action until you retire. I think that's understood by all athletes. Yep. I think that is. But it is kind of an interesting dilemma to talk about as we are like, and on that note, Texas Tech over-under is 7.5 now without Sorsby. They got to, like, because it is so just a part of culture, but we should expect, I think personally, the athletes to stay out of it. Like it has to happen because everything falls if that is the thought.
Integrity of the game.
Everything falls. If the people watching, even the sports books are done. They'll stop taking bets on, like, everything is over. So I don't know. It's tough for me to talk about because I'm so against it, but I do gamble on games. So as somebody that covers the sports in which we talk about. So it's like, it's an interesting time in our society, so maybe the rules do evolve a little bit, especially if they can see every bet that has been made, you know?
Yeah, Pat, I'm sure the NCAA is going to end up with access to what bets are made. I don't think we'll know that publicly. But one thing, as you know, the story broke yesterday afternoon and the day went on, I got a ton of calls from college football coaches wanting to know exactly what happened, why it happened, and because they weren't like looking for the tea. What they wanted to do was scare the pants off their team in team meetings day. I guarantee you, every team in college football that met today, the first slide that came down on the projector was a picture of Brendan Sorsby and all the assorted headlines from all the different media outlets and clips for what happened. Because this stuff right now, Pat, as you said, is so accessible to everyone. And, you know, look, there's monitoring, right? Like if you remember the baseball scandal that took down the Alabama baseball coach, they knew like what cement block he was on, the guy who placed the bets, who got the inside information. Like, they could track you but like to the foot of where you are and where you make these bets. The technology is unbelievable, and you hit the nail on the head, Pat. These are multi-billion-dollar industries, and if the integrity of the game is under question, that is a giant threat to these billion-dollar industries. So There's massive education, like you and D-Butt talked about. I'm sure you sat through a ton of those meetings. But there's also everyone's phone in major college football that I know of, depending on what service they use, is subject to an app where they can track what you download and when you do, and pings go back to that. So clearly, Brendan Sorsby had a way around that. If you remember the Iowa State scandal, which I'm sure Ty does, it was one of the participants in that had his mom open up the gambling app for him, and he bet through his mom's account. But one of the lessons here is those workarounds don't work. Like, you will eventually get caught. There's just too much information that's available right now. So Brendan Sorsby right now looms as a cautionary tale for all of college sports.
Yeah, the trail is always going to lead to you at some point. I mean, it's just kind of how it goes, especially with the geotagging of where the betting is. I guess last question on this entire thing, and we appreciate you so much for your time. When were these bets being made? Because I saw a number like 1,000 plus, and then I saw some baseball stuff being posted. Was there baseball bets? Like, what do we know as of this moment when his most recent bets were? Was there, Ty was like, is this happening at Cincy? What is the most recent bet?
So my understanding of the betting timeline is that it started when he arrived at Indiana in 2022 and went through his time at Cincinnati. I don't know, Pat, if he had bet at all since he arrived at Texas Tech. That information hasn't been available to me. But the sheer vastness of this is something that's something that's really significant, right? Like, you have thousands of bets. Now, he wasn't betting thousands of dollars a game. This was balls and strikes, small stuff, the kind of things, quite frankly, kids his age do. Like, when I walk through the crowd in game day to go do one of my injury hits, people just scream like a random tailback, "What do you think? Plus minus 78 yards today." Like, that is how that age and that generation consume sports. They don't consume it through the, hey, is West Virginia, just to use your example, going to win today? They view it through their own personal prism of, I have a bet on this prop, on this guy, on this team. How will that unfold?
As somebody who played a lot of cards, poker, a pretty big part of my story, somebody that played blackjack, pretty big, high limits throughout most of my NFL career, and they would get mad about us either accepting free drinks at casinos, but they could have scratch-offs. It's like the constant debate on what you're allowed to gamble on, what you're not allowed to gamble on, where you're allowed to gamble, how you're allowed to gamble, has always been happening in sports, at least in the NFL. Now in college, it's like if we know that this guy's betting on balls and strikes, it's like that's not a big deal, right?
No, not at all.
That can't be a big deal. But if he's betting on football, on his team, it's like that, I think, is probably the one. And now it's already out there. They bet on Indiana as a freshman. It's like he wasn't playing, though. Now the conversation is...
Still, though, if you're in that building.
I agree.
Especially in college, when you don't have to put all the injury information like you do in the NFL, so you're privy to
if
so much.
If he's making bets
more
while he's the starting quarterback at Cincinnati in any capacity, like, he's dead to rights. There's no wiggle room there, I don't think.
All right, Pete, keep us updated, will you please?
Thanks, Pat. Cheers, guys.
Hey, have you talked to Cody Campbell down there at Texas Texans? This has all happened? What happens with that? Legit.
Yeah, is there like some type of breach of contract?
I would assume so.
And who replaces Sorsby there in Texas Tech?
Well, the contractual piece, depending on how this unfolds, will be a fascinating one. And there's no answers to that 24 hours out here, D-Butt, but it is a compelling question. We haven't ever seen anything quite like this. The backup at Texas Tech is a young man named Will Hammond. If you remember Texas Tech's win at Utah this year, Will Hammond subbed in for Baron Morton. Baron Morton was obviously dealing with those leg issues all year. And Will Hammond balled out that day. I think he was 13 of 16 passing, 2 touchdowns. He's dual threat. He ran for 60-something yards. He was a weapon that day, as you would like to say, Pat.
Thank you.
And they really thought of him as the future of Texas Tech football. He tore his ACL midway through last year, I believe in October. So his projected timeline, according to Joey McGuire, to return, the best case scenario, McGuire said this spring, is week 3 of next year. Texas Tech has an FCS game to open. They go to Oregon State, and then week 3 they play Houston on a Friday night. Now, again, those timelines can change, be sped up, etc. But Will Hammond is likely the future of Texas Tech if Sorsby isn't available. They did bring in a veteran from Tulsa named Kirk Francis, who started a bunch of games in his career. He's kind of your classic modern third-string quarterback who's been around a little bit, played a little bit, and could certainly function in those early games. What they can't do is go get another Division I quarterback right now. There's no spring portal, and the NCAA has eliminated ghost transfers, which is a favorite term of all of ours. Meaning they can't induce some guy to like de-enroll and then re-enroll outside of the portal, as it happened a little bit in the past. So,
but a really good quarterback can see what's going on down there and potentially understand. Yeah. Right? That's a possibility?
No, you can't do that anymore.
Okay. Huh. I like to hear that. College football is kind of getting maybe back on tracks a little bit, maybe a little bit of some guardrails so everybody can thrive. What we know is can't be gambling on games. We shall see what takes place with Brendan Sorsby. We appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. That's Pete the Hamel.
Yeah, Pete.
That's crazy.
Terrible. Good. If the spring portal still existed, there'd be a...
So he said that like a good QB at some school can't just say, I'm dropping out here. And then publicly announcing, saying, I don't go to school at this place anymore. And then maybe even at Cody Campbell.
Mm-hmm. If that happens, with the new rules, Joey McGuire would be suspended for half of this football season. So the head coach would be suspended for half the season. And there was some other stuff. So.
It's crazy what's going on there. All I know is we need the game.
Yeah.
The game has to remain the game. And to Sorsby, obviously, this sucks that this is all happening. But he had to have sat through at least 10 different conversations about not happening,
Yeah.
And it is a time where sports gambling is very prevalent. Not that it wasn't before, depending on where you're from. The spread and where money was and everything was always a part of sports conversations. I mean, I don't want to continue to harp on this, but like a lot of Italians. I grew up around a lot of Italians.
You can say it louder. Go ahead. Come on.
I grew up around all the Italians. Okay, I think we realize that every time we go back to Pittsburgh, when another Italian shows up.
We run a great book.
Why are you saying that like it's a bad thing?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Not a bad
tone.
Well, I'm saying it because I don't want you guys to think that I'm saying it as a bad thing. Remember, which who knows where that went now? Yeah. Hindsight.
We take a lot.
We know. Hindsight 23 and me. I don't know where the hell that all went.
Book.
But on that note, 0.01% Italian.
I know.
Okay? So I don't like the way I was talking about me as a child either. Okay, what I was saying to you guys. But I grew up around like all Italians. That entire culture. Sports conversation is that is just what it is, Now that it's legalized and very prevalent and very available, it is certainly scary. The NBA's had some stuff. The NFL is the NFL.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Guys getting kicked off.
Oh yeah.
Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. It's been a little bit, but certainly had happened here. College football now, college hoops. It's like everywhere.
Baseball had the guys too.
But we got to make sure everybody knows it's not the majority.
No.
And it never will be. But on that note, can't have it. Every time it pops up, it's like, what's real, what's not real. Can't have anybody thinking that because sports are the greatest thing on earth and everybody comes together thinking what's happening out there is actually happening out there. And that has to maintain forever for the good of everything.
Yeah, and to what Pete was saying too, like the location services on every single app, they really do know exactly where you are. If you're on the sidewalk, they know what foot of the sidewalk you're actually on. And they even reopen them. We saw it with Terry Rozier this morning. That came through the wire. They're going back into that entire thing. And
yeah, so we're in a generation right now of turnover.
It's a tough spot.
Transition turnover right now.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Very, very tough. And we are teasing everybody to not do it. And also know you're going to be so much better at gambling when you're done. When you're retired, you're going to be so much better at gambling. Okay, we just got to make sure it's there whenever you're done. So let's go ahead and lock in and let's do the sports. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who... he's not scared to do a little gambling himself, huh?
No, he's not.
He'll send some picks to get some guys. He'll make some trades. He'll certainly make some moves that'll raise some eyebrows. Ladies and gentlemen, Super Bowl champion stud, general manager of the Los Angeles Rams, Les Snead.
Yeah, Les.
How you doing, Les?
How's it going, guys?
You and I, we have a similar look, do we not? That's what I just realized here. Yeah.
I was looking at my hair thinking it was not good enough to go on your show, but that's we're in black, you know what I mean? So all right, we can maybe be cousins.
Kind of basic white looking, we got the block heads, the hair very similar. I want to let you know I look at the shit you're doing, how you're designing your hair for inspo for me. So just know that that's happening on a daily basis. So whenever you when you mail it in, you're screwing me too. Okay, so let's remember that whenever you decide not to do your hair. You look fantastic, fresh out of the draft. Let's talk about the big news. Ty Simpson at 13. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Ty Simpson at 13. Okay, so Ty comes out afterwards and says he hasn't met Coach McVay. Coach McVay comes out and says, like, hey, me and Les Snead love each other. The reason why I was acting the way I was acting is because I want Matthew Stafford to know that this is his team. He plays as long as he wants to play. And then Ty Simpson talks to Fitz, who we love on Amber and Ian, and tells him, I had conversations for hours and hours with McVay about ball. Can you just tell me how we got here, why we got here? And is it Ty Simpson or is it Simpson? Les Snead.
I'll clear. Here's what I do. If y'all met Ty, I think you know him. Lying's probably not in his DNA.
Okay.
Let's get to the meeting gate first, and then we'll go from there. Here's probably where it all starts, and we'll get into the boring weeds of the NFL. There's top 30s. Let's start with the combine. At the combine, you can interview 45 people. Let's call it officially under for 18 to 20 minutes. There's some other, let's call it, I forget what they're called now, where you can interview people in other settings. But let's get the post combine. Such a thing as top 30s, right? What are top 30s? You can bring your players right into your, basically to your facility, bring them to your city. What happens there is a lot of logistics that go with top 30s. A lot of times players are doing multiple. You're working with other teams to sometimes get a player from their facility to yours at a certain time. At the end of the day, these things become more public. And also you could get into some of the things when you're flying back and forth as a player to all these cities and time zones, and then there's a draft, and then a couple of weeks later there's OTAs. You can get into some soft issues. So here's what I'm saying. Here's what we do. We do not do top 30s here at the Rams, right? And the main reason is this, hey, a lot of times when those meetings become public, let's call it a team that's behind you. Let's say they're interested in that player somewhere along the way in the draft, things like that. They could easily, you never know who's lurking from behind. So let's say you're picking 55, 65, whatever it is, and all of a sudden someone moves to 64 because they think you might pick that player. At that point, there's nothing you can do. You can just sit, wait, see what they do, and if they pick the player, you won't. So there's a little strategy there. Our last top 30, 2023, Kobe Turner. So, and the reason we did Kobe is he wasn't invited to Indy. Indy's where a lot of the medical, let's call it physicals occur. And a lot of times if you're planning on drafting a player, you'd like to bring him to your city, let him go through a physical with your medical team. So really 2023 is our last top 30. So last year, what we like to do is go meet the player right on their campus. And I would call it, in this draft cycle, we did 66 private meetings with players. In, let's call it 2025 draft cycle, we did 61 private meetings with players. That's not Sean and I all the time. We're not going to go see 66. So it's different people in our building going to connect with these players. We usually don't work them out, Pat. Hey, they played football. We've seen them practice. We've seen them play games. A lot of times they've done the combine. A lot of times they've done their pro day. Some teams will go to these places and work them out and meet. We usually like to get them, meet the kid. Also do this. You know how important it is with installations, whether you play offense or defense, install some of our scheme, right? Allow those players to spit it back to us, see how they're processing football, see how they're relating what they've done in the past to ours, how fast it might take them to get up to speed and help the Rams. And also, we'll also talk ball with them about what they've been doing. So at the end of the day, here's where it went awry. We do like to emphasize, Pat, hey, look, try to keep these private meetings between us, right? For that gamesmanship. Just, we'd like for other teams not to know we're interested, right? So we do emphasize that a little stronger than most. Try to keep it between us. So if you go to another team and they ask, a lot of times teams will ask, where have you visited? I know this, a lot of teams will keep up. Where's players been on top 30s? Where have they, who was at the pro day, right? And you're trying to, at the end of the day, figure out who may take a player or who may not. So we emphasize, keep it quiet. Felt really bad for Ty. he stayed on script.
Hell yeah.
Poor guy stayed on script.
He sold it. He sold it after the draft. Biggest night of his life. He's talking to you guys on the phone, still selling it. Like in his mind, can't tell anybody. Goes on stage, can't tell anybody. Goes and does the interview post. I've never met Coach McVay. In his mind, though, he knows that what you guys did in one of your 66 meetings, that's insanity, by the way. That's incredible due diligence on everybody flying to them to go see how they operate in their world. He said it went great. Were you in that meeting for multiple hours with
I was
Sean?
in that meeting with him and Sean, for sure.
Okay,
and they talked football at a high level. They were above my. You know what? I was planning my next haircut appointment, Pat.
Smart.
They were about 3 levels ahead of me.
I understand. That's why you hire Sean McVay to be the head coach and offense coordinator. I think that's why we were so confused whenever it came out like Sean McVay was not a part of the process, because that's what it sounded like whenever Ty Simpson says that he never met Sean McVay. It's like, well, that's your head coach and offense coordinator, and you're drafting a quarterback at 13. That doesn't.
Here's what I do know. I think y'all all know Sean. There's no way he would pick a QB without meeting him. That's what we do know. I think that's probably common sense, and I understand kind of why it got convoluted. Hey, Ty stayed on script. We were really trying to keep it from other teams. So when we were able to connect with him when he came out, because he visited us the next day, and we were able to say, yes, you can let everyone know that you visited with Sean and so here we are.
I like it.
Hey, who's your graphics guy? This is not Lie Simpson.
Okay.
That's Lie Simpson. He's staying on script. Poor guy. You know what? He's so earnest. That's what he's doing.
Let's put a line through Lie Simpson. We'll put it's Ty
I need to
Simpson.
see a graphics guy work. I want a processing speed.
It's a Rams fan.
It'll happen right now. It'll cook right now. It's a Rams fan that made that graphic. It was against his, it was against his better judgment. He did not want to do it. We knew there had to be some sort of story. Now, have you ever seen a player, even after the draft, continue the gimmick? Because, and how do you feel immediately upon watching him continue the gimmick? Do you think, wow, this guy is all in?
Yeah.
And for Ty Simpson, he's basically saying, these guys have never lied to me. There's no reason for me to. Because I'm sure there's been people that have been told, like the Dallas Cowboys told me they were going to draft me. Okay, Dallas Cowboys told me they were going to draft me. They told you were going to draft you.
In the Vikings.
Okay, so then it happens. So I have trust issues. I have trust issues with NFL teams from that moment there. I assume there's a chance that Ty, obviously there's a relationship between, I believe, you, his dad. I think that was obviously getting called into it all.
Right.
He had good faith to trust you to not tell anybody. And then when you draft him, he's like, I'm not ruining this at all. I'm excited about it. How did you feel whenever he continued to lie immediately afterwards? And what do you?
Here's what happens after you make the call. There's a lot going on. It's not like we're now following what Ty Simpson is saying in interviews. And historically here, Pat, we haven't had a pick. Right. It's been a long time since we picked as early as 13. So a lot of times players we pick late first, or we've traded that pick, or we've traded out of the first into the second. Those players aren't at the draft, right? They're not in Pittsburgh. They're not going through this, let's call it media gauntlet per se. So it wasn't really until maybe it was that night or even the next morning that you realize, wow, Ty did say he hadn't met with us. So we wanted to make sure we connected with him and let him know, hey, you can tell people you met with us. The media is not the teams that we're competing with.
That's awesome. I love that he just continued it, so happy. Deep down in his heart, too, he's just like, I don't know if he's enjoying it, like, you'll never know in this entire thing. And then him having to come clean, obviously an interesting start. Another reason why it's an interesting start is because MVP, literally, quarterback. And we had seen this before, just a couple years back in Green Bay. Different situation, but similar, certainly. Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, Les, how did the conversation go with Matt Stafford? Obviously, he is kind of the consummate professional, and he understands that this is proven to work for teams, especially in the long haul. But what was that kind of back and forth like? And when did you actually let him know, like, hey, this is definitely happening, we're taking Ty Simpson?
I know Sean sat down with Matthew, and Sean was the one that was communicating what our plans were. If Ty were to fall to 13, by the time we chatted with Matthew, there was a, if you want to call it, good guesstimate that Ty would have a chance to fall to 13. I think at the end of the day, Matthew's a very, very smart player. He comprehends, right, what the plan is. He understands it. He's a professional. That's what he does. And at the end of the day, he's the reigning MVP. We were able to articulate this too along the way. And this whole plan really, let's call it evolves organically, going back to when the season ended, when we were able to lick our wounds, right, recover from the loss, go through the grieving process that you do have when you get right to the Final Four and you don't make it to the Final Two and all of that. Once we were able to get back in the building and begin the blueprint, and Matthew was to say, you know what, I want to come back. You know, that's step number one. This is awesome. We're going to continue chasing special moments with Matthew and his teammates, our core. But one of our top priorities was let's recharge that corner room. Well, we had 2 picks in this draft. Pick 13 was a bonus pick. It was from Atlanta. So as we go through this process, there's a group of us that get together every morning, and we spend probably 2.5, 3 hours with Sean every morning, starting right there at the end of February, probably all the way through draft day. And we're going to begin the blueprint of free agency, who we sign back, all that leads into the draft lands. Well, what we determined is this, okay, with the 29, it's probably better is the corners we like in this draft will probably go before 13. So let's say it's the kid who from LSU who I even forget where he went. Kansas City traded up with him. Yep. Let's say that was our guy. We wanted to recharge. We had a good guess that we weren't going to be able to solidify that corner room with even the 13th pick. So, okay, let's pivot. Let's use 29 trade for McDuffie. Here's what doing the QB this year does for us, right? There's an element that we are able to get a possible successor, come in and hey, earn equity, be a backup. But what it does in the future is this, hopefully we're picking late. Let's call it that. Let's call it 27 draft, 28 draft. But when you have a QB that is in the twilight of his career, a lot of times you want to save some of those early picks, right, to ensure just in case Matthew decides I've had enough. It's coming soon. It's his timeline. He's the MVP. If he wins 2 more MVPs for 3 straight, we'll take it, right? Take that out of it. I know Matthew will do this. Matthew would say he'd probably rather win championships than MVPs. But at the end of the day, when you're not sure when he might say it's over, you like to ensure some of those other picks in case you need to react versus proacting for the next QB. We can now maybe use those picks, right, to add different players to chase special with Matthew, whether it's through the draft or doing what we did with Trent McDuffie and adding a veteran.
Thank you for explaining your entire process there. Genuinely, that was a really cool ride to kind of go alongside of you there. And I do appreciate the fact after it all, Sean McVay had to hit you on the shoulder publicly and say, this is my guy right here. And you just said, yeah, every morning we are together through this entire process. I appreciated that Ty Simpson continued to sell the gimmick afterwards that they met. And I also appreciate the fact that you did the math on how many corners you think will be around. We need to fix this problem. Let's go ahead and send 29 out of here to get a playmaker. D-Bud has a question for you, Les.
Yeah, you brought
Hey, that's what we do. That's why we get up early and do it.
Absolutely. You brought Watson in as well. Signed him from the Chiefs as well. But Trent McDuffie specifically, not only did you trade for him, but you made him the highest paid corner in the National Football League. I know as a viewer, I was watching your defense last year. No, you don't pressure a lot. You play a lot of zone coverage. I wanted – hey, can we just get a little more sticky, especially down this coverage, down the stretch in coverage? So what was your exact thoughts when it came to trade for Trent and then making him the highest paid corner in the league?
Well, I think Trent's one of those players that probably gets sticky, but he also probably has the instincts, the football instincts, we call it, to play off, to play vision, right? Know when to break, when not to break. But he also can play sticky. There's those moments, too, where in certain situations you can move him into what we call the star and allow him to play some of those hard downs on some of those players, depending on the player, the scheme, all those things, even blitz him a little bit. And I think you mentioned Jalen, and I appreciate you doing that, because I forgot it, because he was a big part of the plan of basically bringing in I could tell you about that, seeing Brett Veach and Big Red at the owners meeting, and it's like you kind of feel guilty you took their defensive backfield. I mean, it's that awkward moment, but point being is on that, hey, if you've met Jalen, it's almost like he's a defense. I mean, he's a defensive end. He's a big, a long player. So if you're building a basketball team, you have Trent McDuffie, start, can get sticky, but Big Jalen can match up with some of the bigger wide receivers too, and then we fill in from there.
Okay, I love the mindset behind all of it. McDuffie's a stud. Congrats to him getting out to L.A. and getting paid. Speaking of getting out to L.A. and having the time of his life, go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Les, I would say it was a rousing success bringing Davante Adams. You know, it seemed like every time you turn on the game, he's scoring multiple touchdowns. But there were a couple reports that came out this offseason that said you guys were, I don't know if shopping's the right word, but maybe looking at trading him away. And then, there are also reports that you guys checked in on A.J. Brown when, it came out that he's kind of discouraged with his situation in Philly. So I guess my question would be, is pretty much everyone, within a vacuum, I guess, tradable? Like, could anyone be traded at any time? And also, what kind of gave you the conviction to say, hey, we don't necessarily need to go and get like a Mekhi Lemon in the draft or someone like that. We're kind of good with who we have in that room and the weapons as a whole with Matt Stafford, and we're ready to just kind of run it back next year.
Yeah, I think going back to the first one, there's probably different levels in the spectrum of is everyone available or not, right? That's obvious on a team. I think here's the let's call it the backstory, the nuance of Davante is a lot of times when you, especially that time of year, it's the offseason, you're having these discussions, right, with different teams and their trade proposals, and they may send you a player and they may want a player back. But once that gets into the, let's call it the media, into the insiders, it starts percolating on what I like to call the metaverse, the internet, whether it's X, whether it's Instagram, wherever, all the platforms that you have. I think what Sean likes to do then is he immediately will call the player, right, and try to explain, hey, smart. Yes, your name did come up. We didn't do it, right? But that's how if it didn't get out, maybe some things are better left unsaid because nothing happened. But those conversations happen a lot of time. But in this world, right, in this content driven where what, Patrick, everyone on this show knows, you got to wake up and provide, right, your viewers something interesting tomorrow. That's not easy. So, hey, when things start percolating, I know Sean likes to nip it in the bud, have an honest conversation with everybody involved and let them know kind of what went down and why.
We like to do the same thing. That's why we have so much respect for you guys. That's why we called you to find out if it's Ty Simpson or no lie. Okay. It's just Ty Simpson. So thank you for joining us. See? Huh?
There we go. I like it. Graphic. Who's graphics? Let's give a shout out to the graphics team.
Atta baby Dirty! Hey, Dirty! Whose house? Rams house! He was in,
let's go.
I don't know where he was.
Back right corner. Crow's nest back
Hey, we appreciate the hell out of you, Les. Thank you for joining us, clearing the air, and allowing us in on your process. You are obviously massively successful, so anytime we get to do that, we're appreciative.
I appreciate y'all having me.
You're the man, ladies and gentlemen. Les Snead. I got a couple texts from some people. Take the lie, Simpson, off the screen. He's the nicest guy of all time.
What's good journalism?
We did.
Dan O text?
No. Good call. Didn't even ask about Dano. Get him back on here. All right, we're back on the other side. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. Might change your life. Goodbye.
Well, hello, beautiful Pittsburgh. The NFL draft experience where we're about to see one of these 8 NFL fans attempt a $250,000 field goal. What we did was we took all of your names and we put it into a randomizer, okay? Now, 8 is a random number, but I would like you to see your names all across the wheel. Camera to legitimize it. I will press this, and one of you will be randomly selected. $125,000 to charity, and $125,000 to your pocket. Now, it's not just me doing this. Roger Goodell said he will split it. So this will actually be a $500,000 kick. $250,000 to you. $250,000 to charity. Now we wait. Popped on. Greg. From Pittsburgh. What is the strategy here for you, Greg?
Nothing. I'm just take Ballswell. It's just Ballswell. I've been watching him for 22 years. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you do. Just embody Chris Boswell. Hold on one second. All right, just kick the ball. Go on, Greg. This guy sucks. Holy shit. You're back in the game because he was so ass. We are back in it. Please, you can all see it. It's legit. Sophie! New England Patriots fan. Short run up. Good effort, Sophie. I appreciate the effort. I hope you have so much fun in the city. Enzo, you can't hold again. You can't hold again. What if we did one of you represents all of you? $100,000 to each of you if the person makes it, and then a match to charity from me and Roger Goodell. Now, you people who are representing all different teams' fan bases have to decide who will be representing for you. I'll see you in 30 seconds. They're gonna start fighting each other. They got no chance in it. Now we got a Rams fan who might be the silent assassin coming out of the group. The team has spoken. If you could remind the entire world of your name and if you played soccer before in your life.
Sam Bailey. No, I didn't, but I kicked in high school.
Put her through, Paul! Oh, shit. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So happy for you. 600,000 to charity, 600,000, 100,000 individual in the final six.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey, let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Big GM Tuesday, April 28th, 2026. Hour 2 of the program begins right now. Sports are the greatest, and we get a chance to chat about it every single day. It's not just me. The Talks Tables here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. How's Boston doing, Con man?
Oh, fantastic. I got a big Game 5 tonight for the Boston Bruins in Buffalo. I think we'll see how that goes, but the Boston Celtics also play tonight. That's the one that matters.
We got 6 games tonight. Obviously, 3 from the NBA, 3 from the NHL. Boston's got 2 of them happening. Good for you guys up there.
Yeah, it's a big time right now, and it's tough, too. Like, I would love to wallow in my sorrow with all the bad things going on and the Boston Bruins being down 3-1, but I can't. The Celtics need me. Just as bad as I want to be able to kind of take that in, I gotta turn my attention to Missoula and those
They're
boys.
11.5-point favorites. They'll be fine.
It doesn't matter. See, that's the thing with a city that has just a couple sports teams. Maybe it would be, hey, that team's fine. No, they need it all every single night. Every single time.
Everybody needs to be focusing their attention 100% on the thing that they're supposed to be focusing on.
Exactly. Well, but that's the thing. How can you focus it 100% on when you have 3 different things? I mean, don't get me started on the Boston. Hold on, don't get me started on the Boston Red Sox. Okay, don't get me started.
You guys already fired your coach up there.
Yeah, and guess what? We're like 3-0 since. I don't know. Maybe John Henry's up to something, and we don't know what's going on. But that's the regular season. You know what I mean? That is something that's like, hey, I want them to do well, but right now I got the Bruins and the Celtics, and of course the Patriots. I mean, we are still all going forward as a team, as one unit. No,
are you saying you have side things or
no? We don't have side things, Tony. We got 4 main things, but right now 2 of those things aren't in the postseason, the most important time of sports.
Okay, it's tough time for you Boston fans.
Yes,
we really feel bad.
Come on, Bees. Come on, C's. We need you, boys.
Yeah, obviously for the whole city. One half of the hammer,
Dahn.
Cowboys AP Tonys here looking great. 9-year NFL vet Darius J. Butler.
Yes,
Super
sir.
cool. You see the way he tied
the thing.
Yeah, the drawstring up top.
It came like
unbelievable.
did it?
That's swag.
That's like when the shoes come tied in a certain
Yep.
way.
Yeah.
I'm always like,
Same
oh,
here,
if I
boom.
mess this up at all,
Thank you. What's these Cooper Flat, New Balance?
they're nice, aren't they?
Those are Coops.
Yeah, they're not Cooper
Rookie
flags.
of the year.
Yep.
I told you I was. Those are not Cooper Flag shoes. He has other New Balances. This particular pair of New Balances, though, has kind of it's kind of fucked me up a little bit. I'm gonna be honest. I don't dabble outside of a couple shoes often.
Okay.
Sure.
You know, I'll wear Jordans for sure. I'll wear Air Force Ones, and I'll wear the Adidas Superstars.
Okay.
Okay. I like the shell tops, like how you doing, keep it moving. Those are basically where you'll find me. New Balance, I decided long ago, can't let my feet, which have done a lot for me, be seen in those. Okay, I just decided that. I can't. These eyes can't look down and just be like, "I'm sorry, boys," you know, because these feet have done a lot for me.
Sure.
So I just could never do it. New Balance sent the right ones this way.
Yeah.
Those things look cool.
Oh, yeah.
First class
cool.
feel.
They look like they're actually not like a throw together shoe brand, which some of these shoe brands look like whenever they're new, because they're trying to figure out what their molds are and their customs are, and they're trying to figure it all out. We watch shoe companies go through it, and they're like, "We're the next shoe," and it's like you're at stage one of the shoe. We know that. We've seen that before with everybody else. Thought New Balance was going to forever live in that perpetual ass-looking shoe. Okay, like that's what, from my standpoint of what shoes. There's other people that enjoy the look of shoes. I'm just saying, from my perspective, never wearing them on my feet. These ones are the ones.
Yeah.
These ones are really nice.
I like them.
Oh,
I wear the same shoe 95% of the time, so anything that jumps up in the foot algo is good. So
yeah, and this is a free ad here.
Yeah, it's go.
New Balance has sent us some good shoes here.
I get one for you.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna be wearing them. But
Yeah.
they're very comfortable.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head. That's how it was for the longest time. And then you bring in guys like Cooper Flag and Shohei, and they look at the shoes, and it's like, I'm not wearing that bullshit. So you guys are gonna have to do something else. And then they do, and boom, that's the product. Right
That
there.
is why a partnership with an athlete is such a big deal.
Yeah.
Because the athlete will actually say, a good leader of an athlete, you know, somebody that has ideas and opinions and things like that. That's why the Jordan brand, you know, I obviously know there was other people that were involved in the designing, but he had to, let me see those ones, let me see these ones, like as you build the brand. I think the athlete being there is a big deal. Cooper Flag, congrats, right?
Yeah,
And
Rookie of the year.
Rookie of the year, which we didn't know was going to happen or not, because CONCAFA with the Charlotte Hornets, obviously they make it into a play-in series where the Dallas Mavericks were absolutely ass. So we thought that would potentially get held against them. Instead, Cooper Flag wearing New Balances. I will say I'll wear these ones more than I will wear the Cooper Flag ones.
The black ones stink too.
What?
These ones?
They're the same.
No!
They're the same.
No, they stink.
Yeah, whenever you got all black shoes, it's kind of tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it reminds you of certain...
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like you're looking at them, you're like, oh, well, are those like Sweet J's or something? And you flip them on the side, and you see like the green N on there, and it's like, what is this? I'm not. Get away. But those are sweet.
Where do you see those normally at?
You know, I'm. Just reminds me of something. I'm
Where at,
disparaging any jobs or career.
If people are working, we
like
appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
If people are working, we
yeah.
do appreciate it. Whatever you got to do to do what you do what you do. We respect and appreciate that. But you made a valid point about it did feel like maybe you walk into like a Wendy's or something where that is the fit, you know, in the New Balances.
Yeah.
Because I had black pants on. I wear black pants normally. And then I had those on. Debo looked at me immediately and said, I just saw you working at Wendy's. What? That entire thing. And it was phenomenal. I looked down, I was like,
Non-stick.
Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who is a college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup winner. Would certainly wear these.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
He wears boots, shoes,
Yes, that's.
and he would wear these.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk.
Baby Hawk.
Hey, the boot shoes you were wearing for the draft were your nicest yet, I think, personally. Was that a new brand?
No, it's a classic Amazon brand, whatever it may be. Yeah, I'm a big high top guy, so I don't know who made it cool to wear like the geriatric grandpa shoes, but it's a thing now with young kids. Obviously, like the white scrubby grandpa looking running shoes with jeans, like that's kind of a thing now.
The Monarchs are always going to be.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the
But
Monarchs,
they wear them non-sarcastically. Like they went, like my daughter got a pair of these Nikes. I'm like, yeah, these are like the geriatric things that you guys think are cool now. She's like, no, they are cool, and I guess they are. Like back in the day, it's the shoes like we would have made fun of my dad and his friends for wearing.
Yeah, but remember, cyclical everything.
Yep.
Everything's cyclical. The pants,
Seems as if the AJ Hawk suit is just about 2
Yeah.
years out
Yeah.
from the way that we're heading that you wore, because everything went the opposite direction, and then now it's going back that way. I feel like there was a time where the modern fashion, I could not any of it. I feel like it's gotten to a place where some of it is okay. It feels like we've gotten to a place where some of it's okay. I think Abercrombie and Fitch was really the first eye-opener about what.
All the way back.
Yeah. They are like
They changed their thing a bit, too.
I like the baggy jeans look because the skinny jeans look was tough. When we did that, it's like I could definitely do the baggy jeans look.
Well, the reason why he hated the skinny jeans you see is because he had tiny little bird legs.
That's part of it.
So, when you do skinny jeans on bird legs, he actually looks like a little ostrich. And that's what that was what Foxy had to go through. We don't think about that, especially me, because I'm from my hind end and core is big. So, like, the tighter jeans there are scary, but the thicker jeans even worse for me. I mean, I look like a librarian.
You wouldn't throw on some Jankos right now?
I just can't I just can't really.
Too far.
I mean, like boot cut is one thing, but the super like Jinko looking things, those are what's crazy.
Yeah, I appreciated just like the fact that the skaters wore them and they looked cool.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't really get down with a lot of it. I do appreciate, though, the people that are at the forefront of like, hey, we're changing how everybody's going to look. We're going to dress like assholes. Everybody's going to call us an asshole. And then inevitably we're going to become the fashion.
Yeah.
Because that happens.
Oh, yeah, basically what fashion is.
Yeah, in Europe, I think, right? Where a lot of the asshole dressing kind of starts.
Certainly.
And then it kind of oozes across the
Just say you're
Atlantic.
ahead of the time. Oh, I'm ahead of the time. You guys are too dumb to understand. I'm like 12 months ahead of you. That's what they think.
Exactly. Now, granted, are we those people now? Huh? I see a lot of people dressing like Connor out there.
Yeah. Well, I know.
Or is everybody just kind of bums? No, I didn't mean that.
No. I understand what you mean, but what people don't understand is that I don't even look at what I put on. So if there is some sort of like thought process or fashion to that,
I think you look good. I think you have found a good Connor at this point.
Sure. I'm more of a, hey, I don't care.
I kind of miss the safari. You remember when Connor
Yeah.
showed
Oh, yeah.
up with a
Those are
new
good
animal
days.
every day?
I still
it's
got
still
it.
in there.
Yeah.
It's still in
I
there.
still have it. It's
Tiger
just one of
lives
those
within.
things where, I'm not looking, okay? Oh, pants? Just let me, okay, perfect. I know I have to wear pants today, so let me get those pants. Shirt? I know I have to wear a shirt. I'll wear that.
Yeah, but that's fashion, I think, what you're doing.
Maybe.
I think. And then you got the Halliburgers on.
Well, yeah, the Tyrese's still play. I mean, they always will no matter what. I think these were after his favorite Tabasco sauce or something, the hibiscuses, but I still love the Scooby-Doos as well. I mean, Tyrese's shoes, I will say, in comparison to others, I do believe it's very strictly similar to my fashion style. Just I need shoes, okay? Put them on.
No.
Okay.
And you're supporting friend of the program.
And I'm supporting friend of the program. He hasn't texted me back in about 3 years, but yeah, friend of the program for sure.
Not allowed to touch
Sure.
his phone.
I don't love that. Yeah, it might be what he's
Yeah.
battling. Joining us now is a man who might have more answers, especially out of the NBA world. He played 13 years. That's so long.
So long.
Think about all the flights,
Oh.
the shuffling into hotels.
Starting and stopping, the jump, like every single night, starting, stopping, trying to stop these guys, trying to dunk.
What's that one drill?
Mike.
Yeah. So many of those.
Well, and he was probably doing the miking from 3.
Yeah, but I'm assuming he had to do this.
I definitely
one, too,
did
at
the
some
mic in as
point.
well,
And
yeah.
then the Steve Nash thing, so many of those. So, ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, one half of the Knuckleheads podcast, ESPN NBA analyst, friend of the program, Q-Rich.
Yeah, Q-Rich.
So many drills.
What's up, fellas? What's up?
Thank you so much for
You
joining
like
us.
the mic and drill? You like the mic and drill?
I'll tell you what, I forget how it came up in conversation. There was one basketball player who was really good that just couldn't put the close ones in. And then, because I didn't do the basketball, I don't really know the drills. So I was taught the name of it. I think it's a hilarious name. So it's basically all I got. Like I run into a group of people from Mexico. I'm going to say, aquí estamos, mi amigos. And then they're going to say something. I'm going to say, muchos gracias. And I'm going to say, uno cerveza, por favor. And then that's all I got. For the basketball drills, all I got is the mic and drill.
Yep.
That's all I got. And then we're weaving too. We're
Three-man
we're
weave.
doing a
Weave.
weave out there. That's all I got. But
I thought you was in the bop in the wood.
more
He
than
is
you
doing
can
that.
imagine, brother. Yeah, I'm bopping Duke's wood right now. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You see that?
That's a real piece of the Duke floor. I think I saw Coach K give you that. That's dope. That's pretty dope.
Thank you. We're bopping wood right now. Let's talk NBA playoff wood bopping, shall we? Whenever you think about Joker and you think about who he is as a person, when he got in that fight with Jaden at the end of that, we knew for sure he was going to come out next game and dominate. And how do we feel about what's going on in that heated rivalry, it appears?
I like it, man. Me personally, I like Joker's response because, like, for me, I played in the league 13 years, and one time I became aware of the whole unwritten rule and the unspoken rule that you don't score. I mean, I never did that. I never crossed the line, but I understand this right here. These are two teams that don't like each other. Jaden McDaniel has been public about his dislike and said it in such words after games, during interviews and things like that. This was the part for me, because when you run up like that, hey, now, like, Jaden Daniels not wrong if, like, by the time he get there, Jaden Daniels done set up and got one off on him, because you're running from pretty far away and you are a massive freaking dude. So I was surprised. I was glad that nothing further happened, but, like, for those reasons right there, that's why I never really subscribed to that. I wasn't going to run up and try and rough somebody up over that rule. Like, I feel like I should have did that during the game. And that's why I say I like the response of Joker coming out and dominating the next game, because if you did that and you don't come out and dominate, what you even do that for?
Yeah, and I think Joker, I mean, we know he loves horses. Okay, we know he loves horses. We know he's not a big talker. We know his two brothers are just absolute monsters, behemoths. We know he's incredibly talented. But I do think he's a bit petty. Like, I do think he does have a little bit of that. So are we talking about a team that can maybe go on a run here? Can the Nuggets do anything in the West, or is this 100% the Oklahoma City world? Because there's some stats coming out about SGA that are outrageous. And Iman yesterday basically brought up, he said, what's happening at the end of games for SGA needs to be studied. It is outrageous what he's doing. And then stats came out.
Yeah.
He's missed 4 shots in the fourth quarter or overtime since March 17th, which is just an absurd thing to think about. This guy's special, huh, Q Rich? Is that how we should view it? And the rest of the team plays perfectly alongside of him, or how do you describe it?
100%. That's why when you asked me who was the MVP, I said it's this guy. This guy's been going for 2 to 3 years now. You heard Devin Booker last night, you know, a superstar in his own right, give SGA credit. Say he's been dominating the league for the last 2 years, and it's facts. This is SGA's time. When you culminate and you doing things the way he's doing it, and these stats are coming out, like, man, this stuff ain't fake, and this is not something that's easy to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's doing it efficiently. He's doing it at the highest level. He is the man right now. What they say, he is him right now. That's SGA. He got it right now.
Okay, I love to hear that Oklahoma City and is Caruso just going to win forever now?
Possibly.
Tell me about the rest of the roster over there. Chet, tell me about
you gotta love Alex Caruso. He's definitely a winner. But like you said, they got a deep roster, dude. They like you say, Chet Holmgren, Hardenstein. Case and Wallace is a straight dog. Do you all see how he guards up the court and gives guys hell 94 feet? He's tough. Then they come off the bench with Isaiah Joe. They got a lot of players. And then we're not even talking about Jalen Williams, who's hurt. And then they got the other big guy, Jalen Williams, who does play. Luke Dort, like, is a look. He's a brick. You know what house? Like, that dude is he is the unit. He is huge. Pause that. But he's a big dude out there on the court.
What house are you talking about? It's pausing.
I think DB just, kind of echoed my sentiments. He knew the language I was thinking.
Oh, I heard you say pause. I thought you were talking about a different type of house over there with Lou Dortcher. Now he was a problem for us. They're saying he's a problem for everybody. Hardenstein, nobody talks about till the playoffs. Mm-hmm. That guy's a menace.
Yes, he is.
Okay, Hardenstein's a menace. Chet Holmgren, same thing. SGA never misses, actually, statistically. Okay, remember we were talking about this last year during the playoff run. Mm-hmm. Does this guy ever miss? I actually asked that question. Him and Jalen Brunson kind of had the same thing, which I'm assuming somebody's going to mention to you or ask about you here in a matter of moments. But that Oklahoma City team, special in the West. Go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, the Oklahoma City team, obviously, everyone kind of crowns them champs already. But what about the Spurs? Are they going to be able to close out the Trailblazers tonight? They're up 3-1. Wemby's back from missing that game with the concussion. Do you see tonight being the night that they close this thing out and then continue their run?
Yeah, I think so. I think the Portland Trailblazers just, they're not a good enough team to beat the Spurs. The Spurs have the dominant roster. They got.
Is anybody good enough? Q Rich, sorry. Is anybody good enough to beat the Spurs to beat.
I mean, right now we don't. I still say OKC they lead the way. They're my favorites to come out of the West. But I think if anybody scares them, I definitely think that San Antonio makes them blink because the way they did them in the season, they went 4-1 against them in the season, and it was pretty dominant. And so I think, SGA even spoke on it. Like, it's hard to think you got anybody's card if they beat you this many times the way that they beat us. So I think that's a series that I really look forward to seeing if it's going to come. But, I mean, I going into it, I think I would still pick OKC until San Antonio shows me different in a playoff format.
Listen, I love Oklahoma City. I appreciate their fans. I like the E60 that they just had. I would very much appreciate exactly. I love what they're about over there. I also like that their team is okay just with everybody outside their area hating them. They'll kind of do whatever. It'd be really cool to see an alien kind of, kind of decide that he wants to take over the entirety of the NBA. Him coming out.
Oh, it's imminent. It's imminent, Pat. Even if it doesn't happen this year, he's like, remember you watching the Thanos? He's like, I am inevitable. That's Wemby. He's inevitable. I can't predict exactly when, but he is inevitable. That dude is something different. He is going to be the man soon, real soon.
Is this year 2 or 3 for him right now?
This is year 3, is it? Yeah, I think it's year 3. What, is it year 2 for him?
I don't know. That's what I'm
saying.
saying.
I think 3 because Castle was their first.
I think it's 3. Yeah.
Okay, so 3 years into this, and every year he's gotten significantly better. But I think the Spurs have also gotten significantly better around him in knowing that he's the man. Castle obviously a stud, but he's come into he understands that the team is running through the 7'7" guy. Because remember the Spurs, the first year he was there, it wasn't like that. No. It was like a bunch of vets almost that maybe didn't fully understand what was happening here. Now they're fully committed to him. And he seems like a guy who is asshole. Hey, we're going to win. We're going to do everything we have to do to win. I'm thankful that we are doing this program while he is playing in the league because he's seemingly actually not from here.
No.
It is a very different, he's tall, he's aggressive, as opposed to kind of being kind of docile, relaxed or whatever, as some big guys are.
Yeah.
He's a mean cuss, it seems like. And then he'll go hang out with the monks up in the mountains and do this. He's talking about the universe whenever he's 17 years old. And then he goes and talks to Kevin Garnett. It's like, hey, how do I become maybe the biggest dog? It's like he's special, I think, mentally. Not only his entire body, I think mentally he has the right shit. And is it starting this
his mentality.
Go ahead, Q.
His mentality. No, he has the mentality. Like you said, he's not afraid to talk about. He wants to be one of the greats. He's doing all the things. When he talks about the awards, he has an understanding to become one of the greats. That you have to accumulate these awards and check these boxes and do those things. And I think he's not afraid. He's not shying away from any of it. Like you said, I think the front office over there in San Antonio, B. Wright, my man Brian Wright, and the rest of those guys over there did a great job. But like you say, bringing the type of guys in that are rallying around him and acknowledge what and who he is and the ability that he has to make everybody around there better. And like you say, it's inevitable, man. And in another year, like you say, they got a chance this year. I'm not counting them out this year, but I just feel like either way, in the next 1 to 2 to 3 years, he is the man, and they gonna get them one because they building the roster the right way. They got a squad, and they can only add to it. So I only see them getting better.
Where'd Chris Farley grow up at in Beverly Hills Ninja?
In Japan somewhere.
Is that where Wemby's headed next offseason?
Potentially.
Listen, y'all left out. He worked with Hakeem the Dream too. Now, that's different too. He checking crazy boxes, y'all. He's doing the work. He putting the work in.
I assume he's going to do something with Shaq right at some point.
Shaq,
I assume he'll
maybe
ask.
like Magnus Carlsen learned some chess in some way.
And who was you said Magnus? Who was the Magnus that threw the keg? Who was the world's strongest man?
Magnuson.
Magnus Magnuson, but also maybe Mario Pujanowski, who is also,
Yeah, I mean, we'll be excited to see what he does. He
maybe
takes
Littler.
Maybe he is throwing darts with Luke Littler to understand the finer details. Aim small, miss small with Luke Littler.
He'd be able to just stick it right into the board from where
That's
he's standing, though. He might want to just do darts in the offseason.
Yeah, because he could, because they
can reach the board.
They stand sideways on that.
Yeah, he'd be very close.
He like the real life Space Jam movie.
Cheating. They'd be so mad. The accents would be so loud about him.
Johnny Clayton would lose it.
Oh, 180 again.
Yeah.
He's done it again.
Yeah.
Oh man, something to think about. Wemby might just take over everything.
Sure.
Why don't you go play soccer? He's from France. We don't want him. We don't volleyball though. The dunk looked like a.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He could.
Volleyball, yeah.
He would just stand in front of the net. He wouldn't have to jump. He would just stand and lift his arms.
I think he could throw a baseball like 160 miles an hour.
That feels like it. Oh my God! In a
Massive
World Baseball
hands.
Classic.
Yeah. France, look out.
That's another one where he might be able
Yeah,
to.
exactly.
If he
Place it.
Just kind of move it around the bat and put it in there.
There's a chance. I can't believe he is as healthy as he is. You know, whenever we heard about him, very late, we are a group of stooges over here, but whenever we started learning of this Wembanyama, who's going to be the number 1 overall pick, and everybody's saying, this is the one. And I'm like, we've heard enough Europeans are going to be the one. Okay, I love them. I appreciate it. But very rarely does it end up working out. Luka comes in, takes over. Giannis comes in, takes over. There has been a little bit of a European takeover, but whenever they're saying this guy's better than any prospect of all time, and then we start getting his dims. He's how tall? Then we listen to him speak. He's like, I know I'm just such a small piece of the universe, and it's like, holy shit, we're talking about something a little bit different here. Then they're like, he's been working out his foot muscles and his foot parcels so that his feet don't get injured because of how tall he is, and his tendons in his knee they've been working on since he's like a little kid because they know how tall he's going to be and how athletic he's going to be. They're trying to take care of the giant basically his entire life. It's like he's been made for this moment. Turns out, he's
Truly.
He's
That's
everything.
why he's not been as hurt as everybody thinks, though, because he does a lot. I've seen some of the stuff, and I've never seen that stuff. He's crawling around on the floor with no shoes and socks on, like you say, working on different muscles that people don't really pay attention to and know about. And I was being educated just watching what he was doing and the people talking about why he was doing what he was doing. And I'm like, this dude is incredible. Like that's why I say he's putting in the work. He's doing all of the things that he has knowledge to get knowledge from to do. He's going, like you say, went to go be with monks over and where they be at, wherever that was. I don't know. But it was like,
he be with the monks where the monks be at. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, it was like that. So like he's doing things that people haven't done before him, and he's going, like you say, go get with KG, go get with Hakeem. Who knows who he's going to be? Was with Jamal Crawford, who's the best, one of the best ball handlers of all time. He was working out with Jamal, so it's like, who knows what Wemby's going to do next? But I see that he's putting no limits on trying to improve himself and put himself in the best position, period. And I love it.
Hey, who knows where Wemby, you know?
Yeah.
Who knows where Wemby? It could be.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, could Wemby anywhere. Yeah. You know, could Wemby anywhere at any time. And we'll follow along, and we're lucky to do as such. That whole training the little muscles, though, for the they knew he was going to be a giant. So they're like, what normally takes it out? Well, it's the little things you don't think about because the little things with giants are actually big things. So all the little shit is actually pretty big shit here if we can take care of it. I love it. Let's stay in the West before we move to the East. Go ahead, Ty Schmidt.
Yeah, Q Rich, talking about another guy who seemingly is not from this planet, LeBron, and I think everyone expects the Lakers to close out Houston. What's going to happen when, potentially Austin Reeves comes back and Luka comes back? Like, how much will their style of play kind of change if it's not just kind of, hey, LeBron, we're putting everything on your back, go out here and win us a game, win us this series?
I think that'll depend on, what when they come back, what shape they are in. I mean, I don't think, what I'm saying, I think LeBron is rolling right now. He's doing great as the number one guy. And I mean, he's shown the ability to be, versatile, whether y'all need me to play the 2 or the 3-man role or whatever you need him to do. He's played center. He's done everything this year. So I think he'll be fine with whatever it is. But I think it'll determine on, what level those guys can come back at. If they can't come back in position to be that number 1 or number 2 guy, I think LeBron will still lead the way like he's been doing. The most unfortunate thing about, I do think they will close out tonight, but even, whenever as long as they advance, the most unfortunate thing is OKC's waiting on them. And that's good for nobody.
Tell me about KD. Tell me about KD here. Tell me about what I should think about the whole situation and how this ends up unfolding for next year. Is he coming to the Pacers?
Listen, man, I think KD is just, he's one of those guys that he's a lightning rod, and anything he does is going to be highly opinionated and highly talked about. The man hurt his knee coming into the season. I mean, to the series, and for him to sit out, I knew he had to be significantly hurt. And then you couple that, he comes back in game 2 when you know he's not 100%. But then on that game, he twists the ankle. So at that point, you got to listen to your body. And he's done the whole thing. Like, how many times should somebody like a Kevin Durant, or anybody for that matter, who's done the things that he's done to prove that he loves the game of basketball? He played through things when they told him don't play, and then he tore his Achilles. Like, so if he's hurt and he's missing games, I just believe that he's hurt. All of the different narrative and the things that pop up and go around in the rumor and, like y'all say, says and all of that, like if nobody's not going to put a name on it and come out and say this is what it is. And if KD isn't saying it himself, I don't believe anything until I see that. Until I see KD come out, I just feel like, yeah, he hurt. Like, if he's not playing, what do you think? Like, this is a dude who plays basketball anywhere. Give me a ball and I'm hooping. He's literally known for that. So if he's not playing, I truly believe he's hurt, and that's just what it is.
How about the Kevin Durant situation in Houston? He was going to join a very good team, just supposed to be an additive. Then it kind of became like his team, right? He started like doing a lot for the Houston Rockets this year, but he was supposed to just be an additive to them whenever he leaves Phoenix. That's just like LeBron this year, supposed to just be an additive to Luka's team. I don't even think they knew it was going to be Austin's team as well until it kept going. They're like, this is Luka and Austin's team. LeBron just needs to be an additive. Then lo and behold, what's going on with LeBron? Well, he's kind of carrying the team right now because there's some injuries. KD was kind of carrying the Houston Rockets for a while. He was kind of their go-to guy. Then he gets hurt. There's always something, though, with KD. I don't know him. I've never met him. I've just watched him from afar. There's always something. He's been on a lot of teams, and I think he does, because the X activity certainly provides a lot of things for people to get mad at him for. But if he was in his Ray Allen stage of his career, we would certainly want him at the Pacers. With Tyrese coming back, we're gonna.
You saying if, like, are you listen? This is a dude who's averaged 25 points.
Yeah, but I think he still wants to be in the act. I'm saying if he'd be willing to, Tyrese, just kind of.
He can play any kind of basketball.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank you, DB. Like, KD, you can plug him into any type of. He doesn't, like, if you watch, he takes the back seat for Şengün and some of those guys a lot. Like, he's not a guy who's out there like dominating the ball and saying, "Give me the ball." Like, for him to do what he's averaged 25 plus points and shot 50+% for like 13 straight seasons. Like, currently right now, still on that streak. Like, do you understand how elite that is?
Yeah.
That is out of this world. And like you say, having the injuries, being up there in age and being in his 17th, 18th year, he still is automatic.
Yeah.
Automatic.
Tyrese to KD, I can already see it. And then guess what's happening? Splash. And then there's a big, yeah! And we're back in the playoffs.
It sucks he got hurt. I would have definitely loved to see this matchup. And this regular season, I want to say KD missed like 5 games or something crazy like that in year 17.
Yeah, he played all
everything.
the time.
Yeah, he
was a big part of. Every time I was watching Houston games, KD is playing. Like, hey, this is a Kevin Durant basketball game.
They lost Van Vliet, man. If they had a real true point guard,
I felt like that was a big factor for them. And people don't even give it the credit. Like, they act like Van Vliet is not a champion and doesn't have the experience and the game that he has. He was a huge piece. Him going down was monumental for them this season, I feel like, because not only is he a great point guard and a veteran and a champion, he has a leadership about him. A leadership characteristic would have helped their team too.
Tyrese is perfect. And I think because of the Olympics, they probably already had a great time together. Probably did the entire thing. I don't know how we get KD in Indianapolis. I would tell you, it'll be a good time for the city. KD, I don't know how everybody in every team is feeling towards you joining them. And hell, I don't talk to anybody at the Pacers other than Tyrese Halliburton. I would like to let you know.
Pat, I would venture that you would have a great time hanging out with KD. I would be. I'm not a betting man, but I would bet many push-ups that you and KD would hit it off spectacularly.
Yeah, I think we cruise at the same altitudes from what I've been told, which would certainly be a fantastic conversation. But yeah, I would like to let them know you'd love it here, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you'd love it here.
Good time.
Got great things everywhere, whatever you need. What are you looking like that for, D-Bud?
I don't know. I don't like to lie to people. A lot of people at this age.
He's gonna love it.
Why? What did you think?
Brooklyn, Phoenix, Houston, India.
It's kind of interchangeable.
That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
So it'd be perfect.
It
We
didn't
tried all
work at those other places either.
Exactly.
You
No,
need
they
to be
were
here and
good.
then
They
it'll
were
work.
really good. Indiana, San Francisco, where it worked, it's similar.
Yeah.
You know, it's very, very. You're gonna love it. You're gonna absolutely love it. And guess what? The bucket bigger here.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Indiana
big.
ball.
So just think about that. All right, let's move to the East, please, shall we? There's big story developing over there in the East with a team that you obviously know a lot about, and a team that was supposed to be the Stones. Go ahead, D-Bud.
Yeah, Q, I know you tapped in with the Magic and what they're doing. Are you surprised at the success that they're having against the 1 seed Detroit Pistons? And do you think with their big three and how they're playing right now, like they can actually go on a little run here in the East? It kind of, from your opinion, what has clicked for the Orlando Magic?
We have our full roster. I mean, not the full, but I mean, we got our, Franz is back and Paolo is back. And then you got Bane. I mean, you guys understand, like, I don't feel like the Magic were a true 8 seed. We came into the season with high hopes of being like a third or maybe higher seed. And that was the outlook until the injuries piled up. And then, it's tough to play without your top guns. Like Desmond Bane came, he was able to play all 82 games. He was huge this whole year. He's been huge these playoffs, and I think he'll be huge and monumental for us going forward. But like it's tough if Paolo gets hurt and then Franz is playing and then Paolo comes back, then Franz goes out. Like Jalen Suggs was in and out of the lineup. Mo Wagner wasn't there a lot. So it was like to deal with that stuff, it kind of gets tough. And this year was a tough year for us during the regular season for that. And for us to recover and get to the play in and win in and then to come out like this, I was not surprised because as much as I believed in Detroit, many of my peers, we always, when we talk about them, it's like, okay, so what happens if Cade Cunningham has a off night? If Cade Cunningham doesn't go crazy, who's next? And that question is yet to be answered for them. And that's the biggest thing. They got big guys, they got toughness, they got, some versatility, but they don't have that second primary scorer that's going to be consistently there for them.
Oh no, Foxy. What happens if he has a bad game or two or three or four?
What? Q-Rich, how much of this do you think is Cade Cunningham's fault or how much of this is Jalen Duren's fault? Because that was the second guy. That was a guy that was going 20-10 every single night in the regular season. And then in these playoffs, he has been non-existent. Also, how does that happen? How can you be good all season, an all-pro player, a guy that's supposed to get a supermax, a guy that's supposed to be on Team USA in the Olympics, and then you're just non-existent for the playoffs? It's embarrassing.
It's actually not as bad as you make it sound. Like you got to understand, Jalen Duren. No, Jalen Duren is not a guy. If you look at it, he's not a guy that they run plays for. He was going and getting 20 and 10 off pure hustle and muscle, like going to the glass. He might get a pick and roll or alley-oop here or there. But if the team knows that when you go into a playoff series, everything is hyper-focused. It's not like we just coming in and one of the 82 and you playing Toronto, then you playing Orlando the next night on the back. No, they got film. They've been studying for you. They got the bigs. They know this. We need to take away that. And Coach Mosley is an unbelievably and his staff, they do a great job at defense. That's what we hang our hat on here in Orlando. And they've done that since Coach Mosley's been here. So I already know he's queuing them guys up on everything. So you're not going to get your normal easy rolls and your lobs to the basket. So if they're not running plays for you, where are you going to get your points from? Because he's not a guy that they drop the ball to the post and say, go get a bucket and do these things. So it's not, I know it looks bad when you look at the regular season stats and then you look at what he's doing now. But if you look at and you focus on what's really going on, that's why they need that second
wood bopping,
dude. Create and they could do.
It's wood bopping. Orlando bops wood better than anybody else.
Yeah, I do.
That's what he's saying right
Hey,
there.
listen, we brought the physicality, man, and we, I'm proud of the guys. I couldn't be happier for them, and I'm glad that they, doing it right now in the playoffs and giving themselves a chance to advance. And the fact that they the 8 seed and the 1 seed, that's historically great.
Hey, you're not just going to be able to play Boyce Park basketball against the Orlando Magic, okay? Detroit Pistons, why don't we draw up some plays?
I couldn't agree more with what Q-Rich said. And Q-Rich, I know you watched that game last night. Was that not the worst basketball game you've ever watched in your life? I've watched a lot, middle school, high school, college, you name it. That game stunk last night.
All right, Fox.
No, those are two defensive teams, man. That game was a throwback to the early 2000s, late 90s, where it was just like It was a lot of physicality, a lot of refs having to break up little short skirmishes and chats and things like that. And these guys got a little animosity. I'm actually enjoying it to the fullest, especially with Orlando winning.
Detroit,
I got no complaints.
Detroit always has animosity with people, it feels like. They had heat with the Pacers last year. They had heat with the Hornets this year. Now they got heat with the Magic. You start looking around, maybe you start wondering what's all the heat. Well, might be.
I might be the problem.
It might be the case, but you need to win if that's the case. You can't just lose to everybody.
That's why I'm mad. We're getting out physical, and that can't happen with a Detroit team in any sport.
It's okay. You're growing. You're learning, just like the Orlando Magic have had to do. Okay, let's stay in the.
And the thing is, they're getting out physical from a team that hails from City Beautiful. That's our nickname out here, City Beautiful.
Oh no, Detroit!
No.
Oh
Where's
no, Mickey Mouse time!
The Mickey is the greatest place in the world. The happiest place in the world. Excuse me.
It's just
Beef Stew's there
to Detroit.
Fight somebody.
Beef Stew's our best player right now.
Oh yeah,
that can't happen.
You're in trouble.
He had 8 blocks last night.
Yes,
that's unbelievable.
He's at the rim. He's crazy at the rim.
Yeah, sounds like Orlando is too, though. They're not very scared of any of that. Okay, so everybody, obviously, the Pistons are the number 1 seed, but you talk to anybody from Massachusetts, they'd say, come on, we know who runs the East, and it seems like that is the case. Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, curious. We can be real here, okay? The Boston Celtics are head and shoulders above everybody in the East, especially right now with what they're doing. Tatum's coming off 30, 11, and 7. He's been unbelievable. Jaylen Brown, he's just a quiet 25 a night. And then we have guys coming off the bench like Peyton Pritchard dropping 30. This team feels different in Boston just because of how deep they are. Is it kind of a layup to assume that, yes, the Spurs and OKC are going to go to battle, but Boston's damn near going to waltz into the finals fresh, healthy, and clicking on all cylinders after Lethal Shooter helped them kind of find it before these playoffs started. What have you seen from them? Should I feel this confident? Should I feel more confident? And also, are the Sixers not as good when Embiid plays? Because it felt weird last game just because less VJ Edgecombe, less Tyrese Maxey, Embiid getting his shots up, and he's clearly still injured from his little situation.
I'll start with the Embiid part. I think it's not. I don't think they're worse, but I think that everybody knows that when you add something like him, he's an MVP in this league. So he's not somebody like just coming back to the lineup. He's a feature. He's a focal point. And I think when you do that, those guys like the Tyrese Maxey, he came to the team after Joel Embiid was already MVP and the man. So it's like he kind of defers to him without even really knowing it. And then, everybody else is going to follow suit because like it or not, he was the big dog. And so you got an adjustment to make when that guy comes back. And I think we were seeing that in real time because it's like we got the big fella. We still got to give him the ball, but it's like they kind of didn't do their own thing as aggressively that they have been doing it, and that took away from the team. But I think it'll be different the next game. But when you get to Boston, I would say I don't want to say they're just going to waltz into anything. It's not going to be easy.
However,
I still have them pick. However, I do have them pick to advance out of the East and come be in the finals waiting for whoever and fighting for the title. But I'm never going to say that they're going to just waltz in and it's going to be easy and it's going to be this and that. But what I will say, the way they've been playing it's been incredible, man. It's been something that's been dope to see. I'm a huge Jason Tatum guy. We got the same agent, Jeff Wexler. So I've known Jason through Larry Hughes and his dad Justin since he was younger. So I'm completely for him doing what he's doing, and I'm loving the way that he's been, gotten back into the fit for the team and the way he and Jalen and everybody are playing together, and all of the people that was naysayers chirping and saying foolishness can silence the hate and just relax and let these guys hoop. They've been doing that's the part I laughed at when everybody said they can't play together. Jason Tatum literally has not played in the NBA without Jaylen Brown, and Jaylen Brown only played 1 year without him. So it's like, what are we talking about? But you're seeing it in real time, and I can't say enough about what Tatum has been able to do. I mean, you guys know, you've talked to Tyrese Halliburton, and he's told you how difficult, how hard, how crazy, and all of these things, and that shows the level of dedication and how hard Jason worked to get to this point, because I was totally expecting him to get back out there and have to work his way in. I didn't realize that him going to the G League and doing all those practices, he was crossing and checking those boxes and doing the working my way back and I'm feeling better. And like now you see him out there starting to have trust in that leg. It's not like those first couple games where it was like, is he trying to not land on it? Like he's going in there sometime. And I'm like, oh, whoa. And it's like, he's straight. So, I mean, I totally respect him as being an athlete who's been injured and had to be off for 4, 5, 6 months. And that was crazy than that. And for him to come back like this, I ain't got nothing but praise for him, bro. It's incredible.
Yeah, I agree. And Joe Mazzulla is a maniac. Shout out to him out of West Virginia,
yes.
obviously.
Yes, he is.
Love the way he does what he does. Cavaliers, obviously, in it. Knicks, always going to be a topic of discussion. What's today's conversation about the Knicks? Did we see what it was on the earlier shows? There is, yesterday was, should it run through Cat? Today might have been make or break, maybe.
How do we get Bridges going, perhaps? He's been struggling a bit.
Mike Brown needs to win, or else he's going to get fired. He needs to make it to the
is
finals.
possible because of what we've already seen.
New York City.
What are your thoughts on these 3 games if you had to pick them right now? You like the Celtics, you like the Knicks, and you like the Spurs?
I like the Celtics. Yes, all on the right. Celtics, Knicks, and Spurs. I like the Knicks coming back home and knowing that they got to handle business. Knowing it's not. I don't think it's going to be easy with the Hawks because they're going to come to fight. They know the importance of this game to go up 3-2. But I think Celtics and Spurs going to handle business.
Yeah. All right. Chalk night for Q Rich. We'll certainly pay attention and we'll talk to you soon. We appreciate the hell out of you, man.
Anytime, fellas, you already know.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's 13-year NBA vet Q Rich.
Yeah, Q Rich.
You already know. Thought of Deion Dawkins, you already schno.
Sure.
Speaking of schno, feels like we're in spring now here in Indy.
Yeah, I got a couple days here over the next week, but that's just in the morning.
What do you mean a couple of days?
A couple days under 60. But then we will be kind of there.
We're here.
We're kind of in the April showers bringing May flowers.
Correct.
Portion of the calendar.
And are we doing spring? Like, we hadn't done spring in a while. I don't know how Ohio is. We hadn't really had a spring before. It was like cold, couple good days, cold, and then 95 degrees. And then it was like 100 degrees for 2 months. And then it got cold again. That was kind of what we had before. It's been pretty nice outside. Feels like we're starting to really catch our stride here.
Yeah.
The Les Snead conversation earlier, really catching on. Did
yeah?
you know a lot of that stuff, AJ, that he was talking about there, where he was saying we've 66 private trips to different guys at their schools, I guess, kind of bouncing around. He went and met with Ty alongside Coach McVay. They talked for hours about ball. Coach Snead said he was just kind of checked out, kind of doing some other things all by himself while Sean McVay and Ty Simpson did their thing. He said Matthew Stafford, it's his timeline, but we have to prepare for whenever it could potentially be up. They like Ty. They don't think they're going to have this high of a draft pick in the future. They're hoping that isn't the case. What did you feel, or how did you feel about our convo with him, AJ? And where do you kind of sit on the entire 13th pick saga as we are here today?
Well, after hearing Les kind of lay out exactly their whole process and what they were thinking, and then like hearing him talk about why they did it, yeah, I feel much more comfortable with them taking Ty Simpson there at 13. But also, my main takeaway was credit to Ty Simpson for keeping that close to the vest and not letting it, and as you said, like staying with the gimmick even after you were drafted. Like, this dude is somebody you can trust. He seems like he's a vault. And think also, his agent had to be involved. Other people knew that he talked with the Rams and Les Snead and McVay before the draft, and it never got out from anybody. So, like, everybody in his camp seems to be on the same page, and I think that's a great thing for them.
Yeah, and we do know who represents him. I think we all do. And that would certainly be something that would come from their good business department, which is what they do, good business over there. And he everywhere. Does business everywhere in that particular world. And people are going to love it. Jimmy Sexton.
That's right.
He's the man involved with the Ty Simpson story, and Miss Amy, I do believe, and I think there's a few others obviously on the team as a 13th overall pick who's a quarterback. So there's going to be a lot of people that are kind of on the job of taking care of things, making sure they stay tight. I just appreciate the fact that Ty Simpson finds a place that clearly loves him, and Matthew Stafford seemingly 100% in on all of it. So I like where they're at. I appreciate Les Snead joining us. I also appreciate any time we get to talk to the actual decision makers, the people that are actually in the league that is kind of driving all this rating success and all this pop culture conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now on this big GM Tuesday is the general manager for the Houston Texans, big time Mark. Yeah. So I was talking to him whenever I was out there with Randy all those weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Caserio.
Yeah.
How are you, boss?
What's happening, fellas? Good to see you. Yeah, last time we talked, I took a picture with Randy, and then we were talking a little wrestling. So it's good to be back.
Yeah, me and Randy have had quite a trip.
You have.
Since then.
I'm glad to see your neck's okay.
Thank you. It turns out it was 100% okay. But there was some strains, obviously, throughout all of it. Could have been anywhere from the C2 to the C5. Obviously, you know the medicals of everything there. Happy we're clear, but Cody got me too. Crossroads. Jelly.
Yeah.
Okay, that thing's shattered. I still got wood.
Yeah, the splinters got
all
you.
over the place, let alone what
Well done. Very well done by everybody involved. Very well done.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, so very well done. Let's talk about you. Okay, so you make massive moves. You make Will Anderson the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. Congratulations. That's obviously a previous draft pick and a massive move on draft night that comes to fruition for you and obviously sets the tone for your Houston Texans defense. I love that you've done that. 28 trades you have done now through your draft. Is it just something that you have to do? You feel like you're super active in there? Like, how do you view your approach to draft night? And when do you know the guy that you want? And when do you know you're going to move to potentially get him?
Yeah, honestly, I didn't realize it was that many trades. I think the reality is we just try to stay as flexible and adaptable throughout the process as much as possible. And as long as we have an understanding of the players, you have to have an understanding of the players, understanding of the board. And a lot of this has to do with positioning. You don't know exactly what other teams are going to do or whether or not you're looking at the same players. So you just try to put yourself in the best position and get yourself in an area where you think you may have to draft that player. So that's a big part of the discussion, a big part of the calculus. So we try to keep the conversations moving throughout the course of the draft. And I think we've adopted the philosophy. We're not necessarily afraid to do anything and do it in a responsible way. And as long as it's in the best interest of the team and everybody involved, we just try to make good, sound, calculated decisions as we're working through the process.
Well, it feels like you're building quite a monster down there with an edge, maybe. You know, you look at a couple of the guys that you drafted there, and you're flexible, you're able to move. But like Caden McDonald, I got a chance to see him get drafted backstage there. I was with him. I met his whole family. We got to see him play. He paints his entire face. It's like, awesome. That guy's a dog. This guy is an absolute dog. The Keelan Rutledge draft pick there out of Georgia Tech, we're hearing stories about him. He's a mean cuss. And then you hear about like how Will Anderson is. It feels like you are targeting a certain type of player. And how do you figure out if a person is a Houston Texan-like player and why these guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've all seen toughness and physicality win in this league. I think we feel that way. There's a number of teams that feel that way. When you look around the league, I mean, it's in the end, that's going to be an important part of it. So we try to identify who are those players that have those requisite traits and characteristics throughout the course of the process. I think our scouting staff does a great job of being able to get the information and identify those players that maybe fit the profile so that when we transition after the season, when the coaching staff gets involved, when D'Amico gets involved, we can maybe identify some of those players that have those characteristics that we're, I would say, targeting and have discussed that we feel are important to winning. And I would say those two players in particular that you mentioned, Rutledge and McDonald, we feel they both have those qualities. Both played for really good programs. I'd say tough, hard-nosed coaches. I mean, Coach Key at Georgia Tech does a great job. He's done a great job, and we've all seen what Coach Day has done at Ohio State. And, you know, Coach Patricia, I'd say, put his kind of stamp on the defense there a little bit. So there's a familiarity to some extent with maybe some of the things that they were doing there. But those were two players that we had a certain level of conviction on, and we were fortunate enough to be able to add them to the team.
And then as the draft unfolds, Marlon Klein there, tight end, he's 6'6", 250. Okay, that guy is a monster. And we all saw Aiden Fisher for Indiana, and we all have such high respect for him. For you to be able to pick him up at pick 243, it's like, I really like what you're cooking down there, Nick. I hate that you're in the AFC South, but I love the way you view it. It sounds like you're looking at dogs only. Go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, Pat mentioned Aiden Fisher there, your seventh-round pick. Obviously, a lot of you don't get a ton of questions about your seventh-round pick, obviously, but we watched this guy play in person multiple times. I guess, what did you see in him? And he has a bunch of tape. He's played a bunch of football. Seems to be playing a few steps ahead of everybody else. Like, what do you like in Fisher?
Yeah, you said it, AJ. And when you watch him play, he's a very aware, he's a very instinctive player with a very good playing style and playing that position. And, you know, we had our head coach is one of the best linebackers, if not the best linebacker in the history of the organization. And he was smart and instinctive. And when you watch Aiden play, he's not as big as D'Amico was, but he has a lot of those same qualities. He plays with good anticipation. He has good range, sideline to sidelines. He was very well thought of within that program. When you watch their tape, their defense was kind of the sum of the parts. It wasn't necessarily one particular player that stood out, but they played 11 as one, and he was kind of the leader of that defense. So that was a player, when you kind of get into some of the late rounds, you're looking for some traits or qualities that, a player possesses at certain positions. And the reality is those players are probably going to have to make an impact in the kicking game before they have an opportunity to maybe play on defense. But really good playing style, comes from a really good program, a winning program, transfer up, coming over from JMU with Coach Sig. And just his awareness and his instinctiveness is something that, we feel stood out in his play.
How much him being around an Italian for an extended period of time did kind of weigh in on that, you think?
It always makes a difference. So he probably had spaghetti and meatballs once or twice during the course of the week, or whatever Coach Sig was serving down there.
Yeah. I assume he's had some mozzarella.
Yeah, a lot of prosciutto.
He's a big reggaeton guy.
Oh, so much reggaeton.
Maybe Bucatini.
Oh, maybe. Gabagool. Could be doing any of that. Anyways, Anthony DeJulio has a question for you about the draft before we move on to other team moves.
Yeah, Nick, there's been a lot of talk on X. I'm sure you have not seen it. About GMs and where they get their draft picks versus the consensus board of draft analysts. Now, I'm not going to ask if you saw that or if you see the consensus board or whatever, but do you, as a GM, use the mock drafts of guys that talk to GMs around the league to kind of get an idea of where guys are going to go? And how is that viewed in the GM world?
No, it's a great question. I think you have to do your work and you kind of have to stack your board. And there's a multitude of mock drafts that are put out over the course of, call it March, April, and a little bit closer than a few more people have theirs. So we try to do our work and we try to identify the players that we like. And then we do have an analysis that we will look at the mock drafts, if you will, to see maybe where a player was projected. And then after the draft, look at, all right, who was most right, or where was that player projected to go? How close was he? You're always going to have some outliers. And I think when you found at this draft, the reality is teams took players that they liked, that they wanted. And I think that's the beauty of it. 32 draft boards don't all look the same. And each team is going to identify the players that they feel that they want or can help them. So you don't necessarily factor it into the overall decision-making. It's maybe something after the fact that you look at to kind of see, like, all right, where were we? Where were the outliers? And kind of how did that player fall? And as you get a little bit closer, you start to hear maybe a little bit more, well, you know what? Teams may have liked this player a little bit more than anticipated. So, you try to factor in everything, but without factoring in too much noise, because ultimately you got to stay disciplined to your evaluations and your draft board.
Well, why would anybody have a different draft board than anybody else with every team being built the exact same way?
That's a good point. Exactly.
So every team needs the same exact things. Every team, obviously, in the market for the same stuff, same type of characteristics. Like, you are clearly trying to build a locker room that has a dog mentality. Yep. And if you don't let dogs in, then you really can't not have a dog mentality, which is a big part of your draft board. I wonder how many analysts have dog mentality as an actual score whenever they're trying to subject who somebody could pick, because you were actually voted amongst the worst in the consensus big board. I don't know if you know this. 29th. And look who's number one, Caserio. Look who's number one. The Colts.
Was that your poll or was that somebody else?
No. I actually like your draft a lot.
Yeah.
I actually like what you guys did a lot. But it's like such an interesting thing listening to what you're actually looking for. Like, hey, this is what we were looking for. But that wasn't what the analysts were looking for.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you could be a little bit more like them and not like a guy actually running a team, maybe you could be like the Colts. Number one in the consensus big board. Put a fucking banner up.
Yeah, you guys actually might.
Yeah,
Colts actually might.
We got 30 seconds left on linear television as we will continue on YouTube, ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, TikTok Live, and X. We're basically everywhere in your hands for the next hour or so. This Paisan, Nick Caserio, will continue to join us. We don't know how long. How long will you join us for after this 19, 18, 17 seconds here?
However many more questions you all have for us. So.
However many?
Oh, boy.
Within reason.
Ladies and gentlemen, strap up if you're going to join us digitally. We got a long one. If not, SportsCenter's about to crush it. We will see you tomorrow. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. Goodbye. Okay, we're in there. Hey, good answer out of you.
Great answer.
That was a good answer out of you. Super humble, super open. within reason, you could have added at the end to do this entire thing? Because we have all gone to the bathroom already. AJ has a bottle under the table. Yep. We don't know what your pissing situation is. We could do this 4 or 5 hours.
No doubt.
We can come up with questions.
I got plenty. What are you watching right now?
Yeah, that's good. Hey, what are your thoughts on the tribal chief coming back?
Yeah,
I mean, we can get a different. Let's stay in ball, though, shall we? Let's stay in ball. Let's go back to some moves that you were able to make this offseason, but maybe not make. Go ahead, Con, man.
Yeah, Nick, kind of weird situation. You signed Daniil Hunter to a 1-year, $40 million deal. We actually all celebrated it and then realized how bad it was for our respective teams because you still get that guy. But then I think the next day or the day after it came out that the league didn't approve the contract. What was that situation? How often does that happen? And why would something like that happen, especially when it's just an extension and a re-sign, not even, a free agent or a trade?
Yeah, and that's a good question. Honestly, it was strictly a semantical, kind of a clerical thing on our end. Sometimes there's some void years and some things that included in contracts. And again, it had to do more with that. So it was a very easy fix. There wasn't anything. There were no shenanigans. The league had kind of flagged it. So we just had to get it fixed real quick. So, I mean, honestly, there was really nothing to it. I wish I had more for you, but there's nothing more to it than that.
No shenanigans, he says. Clerical error on the back end. I appreciate us finding out about it the way that we did.
Yeah, it was weird.
Because it was like, breaking. You'll never believe what they're doing down there. And then the next day we read a tweet. It's like, it was just kind of a filing error in its entirety, not really that big of a deal. Have you heard about this unrestricted free agent tender? Do you know you can do this? Do you know you can do that to somebody?
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up. It doesn't happen very often. When I was in New England, we actually did it one year. I think we did it with LG. I think we did it with LeGarrette Blount. I think it's kind of case by case, sort of team discretion. I think it looks like Pittsburgh did it with Aaron. I'm sure when you bring him on a show, he'll talk about it. But it happens. It doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen periodically. And I think it's just more the team is looking at it from the perspective of, just trying to maybe potentially keep a good player around potentially beyond, the upcoming season.
Okay, so you get an email that says that this is happening from the Pittsburgh Steelers. So you are basically told by the NFL, hey, if you are in pursuit of Aaron Rodgers, know that this has happened. So is that how that works?
Well, they notify the team, so it doesn't preclude you from potentially signing that player. So it just knows there's certain parameters that are involved in a situation like this. So you all have the note up there. So that gets promulgated to the teams. So at least they're aware of the player's status, and then you can deal with it however you see fit, based on the team.
Okay, fascinating. How often are those types of emails coming to you guys? Like, is there a daily, hey, this is kind of what is happening around, this is what's taking place?
There's something that gets sent out daily, just essentially a snapshot of the transactions that take place. So sometimes it's that day, the transaction takes place that day. Sometimes there's a little bit of a time lapse there, but it's a way for, essentially all teams to have the same information. League does a good job of making sure that, all teams have the appropriate information.
Fascinating. Hey, you make moves. There's a lot of people getting emails because of shit that you do. Go ahead, Ty Schmidt.
Yeah, Nick, one of the moves that I love that you made, and it was early in the offseason, you guys traded for David Montgomery. And the last couple years, you've got production from your running back room, but it feels like it kind of has been like a musical chairs thing where last year, with Mixon, we didn't know what was going on, and he ended up not playing that much. Woody Marks obviously looked pretty good. But how important was it going into this year to find like a bell cow or a guy that you could actually rely on and maybe take some of that pressure off CJ and kind of get that running game, very, very good moving forward?
Yeah, the running game is an important part of any offense, so hopefully it's will be a big part of our offense as well. That was a position that we had identified. We were probably going to add a player or two at some point along the way, so we just looked at our opportunities, and David was a player that was very highly thought of in our building, highly thought of in the Lions building as well. Like, we have a lot of respect for the program that Coach Campbell and Brad are running in Detroit, and we practiced with them. We played against them a few years back. David's been a very consistent, a very productive player. who's tough, kind of going back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier, Pat. I mean, the toughness and his physicality kind of stands out in his play. So we felt that this was a player, if we had a chance to add him to the team, would be a good fit for some of the reasons that, we articulated.
Yeah, and what you're saying there's some himbo stats that kind of back it up. And I don't want to bring up poor stats again, okay, because this is not good. This is not fun. You're the general manager of the damn team. But on that note, goal-to-go efficiency for the Texans, 26th in the NFL. Red zone efficiency as a whole, 30th out of 32. David Montgomery has 33 rushing touchdowns since 2023, which is the 8th most, 28 of which come inside the 8-yard line. Hey, we have a little bit of an issue finishing here. Let's go ahead and bring a finisher in who we also respect coming from a great place. I love the move, just like I love everything that you do, even though their stats are saying you're ass. That's what they said. I didn't love that they did that. I didn't love that they said that, but that is what they said. Your team has obviously been very successful since the first snap that C.J. Stroud took. Okay, rookie year sensation. They were talking about him being maybe the greatest rookie in the history of football. Now, the next step. D-Butt has a question for you.
Yeah, CJ's kind of had to ride the ebbs and flows of the league, and he's been successful by all accounts, in my opinion. A few playoff wins already. But in your opinion, what's the next step? What do you want to see CJ Stroud in his game to take that next step? I saw you picked up his fifth-year option. We just saw Will Anderson get paid. Derek Stingley got paid. Obviously, everyone expects C.J. Stroud to get paid here at some point. But what, in your opinion, through your eyes, what do you want to see as that next step from your franchise quarterback?
Yeah, D-Bud. I mean, the reality is, it's just to approach it this year with the right attitude and just go out there and play good, consistent football. I mean, CJ is one of the better quarterbacks here in the league. He's shown that in the first 3 years. Right now we're in the offseason program here. He's been here. He's been involved. He's had a good attitude. He's worked really hard. So, again, it's focus on the things that you can improve, correct some of the things, or where are the areas of growth. I mean, that's what this program and that's what the focus is for him and our program. And D'Amico talks to the players about that all the time. So it's just kind of focusing on yourself and continually improving and getting better, and then growing in the areas that, we've identified that we feel you can growth. And, we're glad that he's here. We're glad he's under center and glad that he's our quarterback.
All right, Caserio, what do you think of the tribal chief being back?
I'm okay with it, I think. Might need some new blood here at some point.
Whoa!
Roman is obviously very highly thought. No, Roman's great for it's great for the WWE, and he's a great champion.
Oh, don't you back
see
off.
who the next challenger is. So I didn't see what happened. Did he accept Fatu's challenge last night, or did he not?
Yeah, they're going to Backlash.
He did. He did.
So when is that? Backlash?
And next Monday. They'll be squaring off next Monday, and they will be squaring off Backlash. But from what Nick is saying, he sounds like an Obafemi guy to me.
Obafemi. Wow, he's kind of interesting. Yeah, he's a big dude. He's a big dude.
He just slayed the beast. Brock Lesnar
He did
retires.
Yeah, hung his boots up.
Hey, Brock, hell of a run,
looks
Brock.
like Brock was ready. So.
What's that?
What do you mean?
Looks like Brock was ready. He put in his good years, and he was ready to go. So.
Yeah, right. Caserio, he'll snap
nobody
you
like
in
him. Nobody like him.
Yeah, maybe you bring him down to Houston Texans. Maybe because he was a Viking there for
Cowboy.
a little bit. Yeah, oh my God, he would show up. Him running out of that bull, full uni. That'd be fucking
Make it
outrageous.
happen.
All right, good luck the rest of the way. What are we doing now? We signed our undrafted free agents. We got workouts this weekend because Ravens, I don't know if you know this, he will not be available. Diego Pavia has signed a deal with the Ravens. He was supposed to work out this weekend at a rookie minicamp tryout type thing. They have signed him to continue over there with the Baltimore Ravens, which is good. What are you looking like that for?
I thought they already signed the Aaron Mark Jackson with Joe Finano.
They did.
3-year deal.
Did.
Yeah,
giving out 3-year deals. What the hell is going on?
Yeah, Joe Finano and
no, actually, DB, the way the undrafted contracts are now, that's standard for everybody. So if the undrafted, they're all 3-year deals. So the league kind of standardized that. So again, I want to say that's new over the last few years. So again, all undrafted players that haven't signed an NFL contract, they all sign 3-year deals now. So it's pretty standard practice.
Okay, so on that note, first rounders can get a 5th-year option picked up, which has happened for you in the past. Normal deals, rookie deals, 4-year deals. Is that normal? And then,
correct. That's
if
correct.
If you're drafted, 4-year deal, and then undrafted
Correct.
is now a 3-year deal. So everything's kind of standardized now.
Yes, for the most part, it is.
So if you go undrafted and you can sign earlier.
Yeah, so let's say you play it out or after the 3 years, and then depending on how it goes, you're either going to be restricted or unrestricted. So, again, if you're restricted, then it's up to the club to decide whether or not they retain your services or if they don't tender you. So, The 4-year deals are a little bit more, to your point, Pat, a little more standardized. And, after the 4th year, then they'll be free agents if you haven't done an extension with that player after the 3rd year, which all players are extension eligible after their 3rd year. So then you have the choice of whether or not you're going to do it, regardless of the round. The first round's the first round. That's a part of it. But even a player that's in the middle rounds after 3 years, like, you have the ability to extend him before the end of his contract. So, every team will kind of look at that on a case-by-case basis.
We're kind of heading that direction, aren't we? Don't you think that's kind of becoming more and more, that's why I think your situation is getting loud, right? I think your situation with CJ is going to become a louder conversation because it feels like the deals are getting done earlier or expected to be done earlier, and it's getting louder about deals getting done earlier. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think you're seeing it more commonplace maybe than it was previously. So, again, I think each team is probably having a lot of the same discussions, and those discussions will probably continue throughout the course of springs and into training camp and into the season. So you're seeing deals done really, across all times, all parts of the year. Spring, training camp, in-season deals. So, and I think every team probably approach it a little bit differently. We're pretty flexible, and, in the end, we'll just try to figure out and thread the needle on every player that, timing-wise, we feel makes the most sense.
For the good of the Texans, seems like you got a bunch of dogs down there. How much would you have loved Bane on your own?
Really good player.
Yeah, you had
really
Bane. Yeah. I assume you had
really
him very high. Yeah, I assume you did.
Very good player.
Everything he did, that hat grab,
man.
everything about it was just like everything that Cristobal said about him, everything. It's like, feels like this is a guy that was probably high on the dog draft board down there in Houston, if I had to guess.
He was on the dog board for sure.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's awesome. I appreciate the way you view ball. I appreciate what you're doing down there, and I appreciate you taking time to chit-chat with us. You're the man, general manager of the Houston Texans, Paisan extraordinaire, Nick Caserio.
Nick.
See you, Nick. Hold on. Was he saying something there? We just muted him?
Yeah, real quick. Just want to say I appreciate your support on the donation. I know we had a little fun there at the combine with the throw, but in reality, was that donation. Our oldest daughter had a fundraising campaign and effort, and she ended up being the highest donor because of the donation that you all gave and provided. So really appreciate your support. Appreciate the relationship with the program, and a lot of respect for what you all do. And thanks for being a part of that.
Hey, thank you for the opportunity. You can spin it, brother. Never forget it. And I'm happy we can be a part of that. You're the best. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Nick.
Thanks, fellas. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Nick.
That was very kind of him.
Legend.
He's so smart. And
Remember, we buried him the first time.
Big time.
Had to. I love Nick.
Yeah, you obviously know him from your Patriots day. We had to do it. He had headphones on.
That's right.
General manager, directly to sideline. Sideline was coaching a team that was ass. Okay? Why is this general manager fucking got headphones on? Get this guy out of the goddamn game. So we obviously mock and ridicule him mightily. Everything goes to shit. They become a dumpster fire.
Laughing stock.
Whole thing.
Quarterback wouldn't play.
See ya.
Dave Coley's chewing on his tongue.
Actually,
he got a raw deal.
he was a one-year coach. Josh McCown was going to let. I mean, it was all bad down there.
Coach Dave got a raw deal.
Everything was. We agree. Coach Dave did get a raw deal, but during that process, it was all bad down there. And then all of a sudden, he starts chipping away. This guy. He comes on the program. We're like, this guy's going to fucking hate us. He's got to do it. And he come on immediately. He said, I know what you guys had to do. I mean, can I talk about this? I've been doing it since my Patriots days. It feels like I should know what's going on, especially if I'm picking the people. That's just kind of how I operate. I'm not on there telling them what plays to run. I would just like to know what's kind of happening, how I can help out. I've been doing it literally forever. We won a couple Super Bowls, okay, with his entire thing. So it was very fascinating getting to know him. Super bright finance guy whenever it comes to like numbers and business and everything like that. And then the way he's been able to seemingly seek the people that he would like in his building has been superb. So I'm a big fan of old Paisan down there in Houston. I hate that they're in the AFC South.
Big fan of Nick as well. And obviously, you know, do you win a Super Bowl? Do you win a championship? How does your quarterback succeed? That's what he's going to be judged off on. But he's always been a great communicator. And him having that headset on, he's had his kind of fingerprints all over the organization. His days in New England, kind of was a de facto GM at some point. So I love to see him having success in Houston. But, you know, you have a quarterback who we deem as a good franchise level quarterback. It's going to come down to how much can you win, and can you get to the big one and win one?
Yeah, I like C.J. Stroud a lot too. AJ,
Yeah, how could you not? I mean, obviously, who would you take instead of him? Like when people want to say that he's fallen off, whatever. Yeah, there's definitely ups and downs as an NFL quarterback. But yeah, who are you going to get instead of this guy?
Aaron Rodgers, maybe.
Yeah.
He's available.
Why did they sign that? What is that? Why did they sign that whole situation?
I don't know. So what do you think? Okay. This is. I'm happy you're here. This is.
But you're saying, are they trying to protect themselves? Like, what are they like? They don't want him going somewhere else, or they don't want him. Like, say somebody gets hurt, he hasn't signed. It's July 29th, and he goes and plays somewhere else. Is that what they're trying to, like, protect themselves from that happening?
He can't do that. I think with this thing being signed.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So if they didn't do that, they think, hey, what if he came on August 10th? Somebody got hurt, and he goes, and all of a sudden he's starting for the Packers again.
Well, and I think they're also.
That's why they did this.
Well, that and also I think they're trying to allegedly get a compensatory pick. But the way Caserio just said it there, he's like, this is somebody you're trying to keep around or whatever or something like that. I guess there's multiple different ways that this thing could be used. But if you're Aaron Rodgers, how are you viewing it, AJ? My immediate thought was, so I've given this league 23 years of my life. And if I am choosing to become a mercenary at this stage, where I go in after somebody gets hurt, like to your point, first week, 6th week, 10th week, quarterback goes down on a good team, I would like to go do that. Now I can't do that because of this tender that is somehow in the CBA that I had no idea that existed. It's a crazy thing that a 23-year NFL vet can get slapped a tender on him that's like, yeah, you can play, but you got to do it soon. You got to do that soon. It's like, what if he doesn't want to do that? And there's a chance he doesn't want to do that. And it's like, I don't know if this is just going to be, and I appreciate the Steelers looking out for themselves. You know, every team's got to do what they got to do. But I'd assume Aaron is taking this a certain way. AJ, you would know better than me. AJ, how do you?
I don't know. I would guess that you could also look at it like, hey, this team really wants me back. They really want me. If I'm playing football, they want me on their team. That's how you could look at it.
And also they're paying me whatever 10% raise increase. They've made a formal public announcement. You could do that. It's just fascinating that this exists. I don't think I knew. J.K. Dobbins, I guess, had it happen in 2023, I think is what was said, or something like, or no, less Snead
25.
Said. Yeah, it's 25. Okay, so this has happened before, but like to a quarterback this old in the NFL who is considered who he is, you know, first ballot Hall of Famer, we assume. We don't know what a first ballot Hall of Famer looks like anymore. It's like that's an interesting thing to just roll out here on Big GM Tuesday, April 28th.
I mean, knowing what we know at this point, I think what everyone knows, like there had to be a conversation, right? Especially like, you know, I know Mike McCarthy's not the one who's like drawing this up and ultimately making this, like he knows Rodgers. He, you know, you'd think he would tell Omar, or at least if they hadn't talked, be like, you know what, maybe we kind of just pump the brakes on this. Like he might take this the wrong way.
AJ, have you heard how Tony's talking about it all? He's excited for a compensatory pick.
Yeah, pretty wild.
Yeah, I mean, 2027.
Tony used to kind of play both ways, you know, say, oh, you know, he can come back, whatever, but make a decision. Now you're all out. That's how we're at
the
right
vibes
now?
are bad.
You're done.
Their vibes are bad.
That's why you're wearing all black today.
Yeah,
the funeral.
And the vibes are just terrible around the guy. We don't need him. We don't need him.
What?
Don't need him.
Every time I've been around him, it's been good vibes. Good
yeah,
times.
really? Every Tuesday was good vibes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there were some that immediately afterwards got really loud vibes. There was really
Aaron Rodgers football.
Hey, that is Aaron
And if he
Rodgers
doesn't want to
football.
play football with the Steelers, fuck him.
Okay, but he's not allowed to now if
Yeah,
he
he
makes
is.
that decision after training camp.
Well, he should make a decision before training camp.
He wants to live his life.
What happens before training camp anyways? Nothing. What happens during training camp? Damn near nothing. The guy's going into his 24th year. He can show up September 1st if he wants to.
That's what I'm saying. This is an interesting.
His 22nd year, by the way. Let's not give him extra years.
Okay, sorry, we don't know because
Those COVID years were worth 2.
And he didn't start for the first 3, so it's technically under 20 years.
Okay.
Tony.
Whoa.
Hold on, what's going on here?
I don't like it either. I don't like what's going on here. This is a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Cool.
Okay, you wanted the decision before draft. I think there was a lot of fictitious timelines that were kind of put out into the world, so that I think those timelines were put out though, so that Aaron would make a decision by those timelines. Because I think like maybe ownership made one at one point. They're like, we're expecting to hear before draft. That's owner talking publicly about like, hey, this is what we would hope. You know. Now, was there a conversation with Aaron about that? Did Aaron ever say, hey, I'll give you that? Is Aaron even in contact right now? Like, can you even
America?
Yeah, can you even reach him? Right? We have no idea. What an interesting Mount Rushmore quarterback in the history of the NFL, which is what we also have to remember. Mike McCarthy's offense is one that he knows. Pittsburgh's building now is one that he knows. Feels like he knows everybody in the building still. Would be a very comfortable, I think, a good setup for him to play another year of football, at least maybe 1, maybe 2 more years.
Yeah, maybe 3.
Maybe 3 more years.
Yeah,
you never know, especially
he should play till he's 50.
We want volunteers, not hostages. Okay.
That coach is now working for NBC, and he's going to be great on TV.
Still stands.
Yeah, he did.
You don't know that.
This guy needs to figure it out at the Derby. Enough of the, we're just here having fun. We're just I'm not going to be weird. Like,
grill him,
be
AJ.
coy about it. You don't have to necessarily grill him, but let's get some fucking answers.
Please.
Okay?
AJ, the city of Pittsburgh was good to you. There was an AJ Hawk chant. You're from Ohio.
You owe them.
Love Pittsburgh people. Love the Pittsburgh people.
Exactly. The Pittsburgh people, and Aaron knows this.
You're right. I got a custom towel with my name on it, but I traded Talk. He has mine. I have Talk. So
it's a good trade.
We traded at the party.
Bill Cowher has mine.
Oh, I saw that picture actually.
What's
with AJ and Talk trading.
Oh, they traded
like
their
a
towels?
jersey.
I didn't see that. Both had a good night out there. You know, you guys laid it all out there. I appreciate you guys swapping towels. Bill Cowher took mine. You had a video of it.
Yes.
Because I was wondering where mine went. And then I watched your video, and I was like, oh, I never got that. Coach Cowher currently has that.
Just kept it. Yeah, me and DeBone actually got left out. We did not receive towels together.
Oh.
DeBone did the Cody Rhodes situation.
I mean, how about Cody calling him DeBone on national television?
What do you mean?
I just love it. I just love Cody bringing DeBone into the storyline. Like, he's going to be out there in the squared circle soon enough.
DeBone?
DeBones?
I don't know. Sports Center.
What?
That wasn't what it was. That wasn't what it was at all.
You added an S to it.
And what did we learn about the American Nightmare?
He's the one.
He might be the one.
QB1.
He might be. He might just be the one.
Yeah, Mikey.
We threw everything at him that we had.
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah. I agree.
Before the bell. Poof.
Yep.
Could have never expected that.
No.
Main event WrestleMania. No asshole would do that. None. He could have never expected that. I'm up to my old tricks again. Bang! I get him. Then he turned that on me. He kicked me. He almost.
I almost launched out of the ring.
He almost on me. His boots.
Head on buckle damn near.
Yeah, actually, that was almost it for me. Nobody's talking about it. Went through a couple pairs of sunglasses.
Yeah.
That night. Obviously, those things are bright.
Nice ones.
Nice ones, not from Amazon.
No.
Not $3, $4, $5 ones.
No.
Yeah, 3, 4, 5,000.
Yeah.
No, I don't want people thinking I pay that much. Don't pay that much for sunglasses. There is very nice, very cheap sunglasses out there. It was a long night, but Cody Rhodes somehow, very end. I mean, I was gonna.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it would have counted. I do wonder.
I think it would have.
Brian Westbrook's kid asked me why Randy Orton got me, and so did Mark Ingram's kid. They asked me the same questions as soon as they saw me. Hey, why Randy Orton do it? I guess I should have counted faster. That's what I should have done. But I thought Cody was donezo.
Yeah.
So I was trying to just enjoy a moment.
Yeah, exactly. Paying homage to the Hulkster.
Boom. I was trying. I was really feeling it. I wanted to make sure we were all very clear about where I was on that count. If it was 1 or if it was 2 or if there was a fake one that came in earlier. Because I don't think a lot of people had eyes on that particular count with where everybody ended up at. So, we're trying to get that thing loud out there. And then that 3, if I hit that 3 there, oh, he kicked out. Wow, what a thing. If I hit that 3, Randy Orton's champion?
He's a champion.
Game 7
Had a ref shirt on.
Yeah,
It would have been better if you would have hit that 3. There's no bell, and you're trying to call it. You're saying it's over, and no one's acknowledging it at all.
That's what I'm
That
wondering.
would have been nice.
Tyrese Halliburton asked me that immediately afterwards. He was like, so if you would have got the 3, what happens? I'm like, fucking Randy's champion.
Yeah.
And then he said, who said that? I was like,
Tyrese wearing a,
me,
wearing a
3
ref
count.
shirt.
Yeah.
3 count.
Did he not see the stripes?
I think he didn't think I was like a official ref.
Sanctioned.
You got certified.
That was actually a little bit of a problem in one of the states, actually. Not a lot of physicality without having a little bit of something, but when you see Cody Rhodes down, you can't help yourself. But Hey, is there anything happening? No. All good. Just talk.
Now you're done forever.
Forever.
That sucks.
Moment of silence, maybe.
Then-
Might be over.
Now, gone forever.
Damn.
It was a good run. It was a fun run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Our travel chief's back, which is kind of a little bit of a bummer to him. Now I'm gone. He said he's going to be here all summer. He did a Michael Jordan taping.
Yeah.
There it is. That run.
Yeah.
I'm a genius. I'm a genius. I'm a genius. And one, two.
That was a slow.
Oh, you were so close.
He was so mad. Right there, he's like, why didn't you just count faster, you dipshit? We didn't know that at the time.
No.
That's what he was thinking. Right there, he's thinking, you.
Looking back on it, though.
What a.
Oh, he's laughing.
Yeah, voices.
Oh my God. What a move by Randy. They're both bleeding out there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They really left it all in the mat, didn't they?
Blood, sweat, and tears.
So were you on the
protocol
medical table? Like you just had gotten strapped up, still doing your like what?
Yeah.
Before you hit the.
Yeah. They were. They had scanned me up a couple times. I got CT, MRI, and X-rays.
Were you in the referee locker room? Is that where you grabbed the shirt?
No, I ran by it.
Nice.
As I was watching. I'm like, you know what? There's a chance these boys are really getting after it. They were both bleeding, you know. I knew there was a possible chance. I was stretched out earlier already because jelly rolled me, and I got hit with crossroads before the match even started.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really from the beginning all the way to the very end. Nightmare situation for me. My American nightmare happened in Las Vegas as I got. I mean,
You told him, AJ, that punch, telegraph.
Vicious attacks.
yeah, I got to stop trying to punch like that. But yeah, I was in the back, CT scan, MRI, and an X-ray. Didn't get any of the scans back because I had to get up and bounce. Obviously, the scans are coming back on Tuesday, so I had to get up and get out of there. I had to let people know I was okay because my family might be watching. But to everybody here, this is how I feel still. You need to understand that.
Oh, gee. What a great run.
I didn't even see my shoulder was really up there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know I had that much energy because I thought my body, that's why I was kind of stretcher.
I hope they got that video. You just on Unreal or something, snatching the shirt, and doing it all.
It's in the bag. They should. They got cameras everywhere there. Yeah. I even grabbed the neck thing. I was like, is this the thing? And they
put that on right now.
Now.
I did. And I ran, snagged the referee shirt, took my shirt off. I was running through the back. Saw some people that were what'd you say about the business?
Yeah.
I was talking to you. We'll run in through there, get up through Gorilla. Oh, look what happened. Just as I thought.
Randy needs me.
There. And then all of a sudden, Randy looks at me and it's like, I'm the one.
Get ready.
Come on, Randy.
And then I tell Randy, genius, I'm a fucking genius, just like I said. That's what I'm doing there. So, yeah. I'd say, I don't know how long it take me to run that 300 yards, however long that was.
Probably
10 seconds.
4.5 seconds.
I was kind of gliding a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I was kind of
were.
gliding.
Thought you had wheelies on for a second.
Said, Jesus Christ, this guy's flying down the ramp.
Could you imagine wheelies down there? I do. The knees, I'm pretty pumped about the knees. The science of sciencing there. Yeah, I was feeling pretty good. But that's what I was doing. You're right. I was on the training table, waiting on
Though was
a little slow.
Yeah.
You think it was slow? Is that what Randy?
Let's take a look at the count.
Yeah, well, Randy, I think, got really mad because of how slow the count was.
He's already got him covered.
And one, and two.
How did you?
But could you imagine how good that third one was?
Certainly, I'm with you.
I was trying to put it through the ring.
Players would have gone nuts.
Like Tiger backing off a swing when he hears a noise in the back. Like on that third one, you were about to smack the mat, and you saw him kick out, and you didn't make contact.
I don't know about any of that. I was just trying to live up the moment a little bit.
Yeah.
I was about to save the business right there in front of my broken neck.
Yeah.
It's mania.
All right, let's get the hell out of here. What do we not talk about today? The Kentucky guy.
Oh, yeah. Guy who was saved by Younghoe Koo.
Yeah, Younghoe Koo. This is a massive story where, something bad happens, you think, but then it actually just gets you to a place where you get inspected, basically, for everything else. And all of a sudden, holy hell, we have a life-saving situation. Missed kick for Younghoe leads this man to obviously lose a little bit.
Yeah, Kentucky man was watching the Monday Night Football game, Giants-Patriots. We all remember it. Younghoe Koo actually didn't even miss the kick. It was actually ruled a fumble because he did not hit the ball. He hit the ground before the ball. Man in Kentucky watching the game in his own home, in his bed with his wife, starts hysterically laughing to the point of seizing, starts to have a seizure. His wife, who I believe either works in a hospital, she calls 911 immediately. He goes to said hospital, gets a CT scan done, reveals a tennis ball-sized tumor in his brain, benign, not cancerous. They remove it, basically saved his life because Younghoe Koo missed that kick so miserably.
That's an incredible thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And Younghoe didn't know at the time he was potentially doing that. And it got loud for Younghoe.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people are questioning a lot of things. How can you be a kicker, a professional kicker, and miss the ball?
Lost his job.
Yeah, he was in public scrutiny on Younghoe Koo was really high.
Big time.
He was down in Atlanta. People loved him.
Yeah.
Then he has a duff like this. People go crazy. I don't think he thought the hold was going to get down. He was trying to check his swing, and the ump at first was like,
yeah.
Yes, he
yes,
did.
you did.
Uh-huh.
Yes, you did. And the internet did as well. So I'm happy that good came from that terrible day for Younghoe. I hope he finds solace in that.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. I'm sure he's looking at that and said, you know what, that was the most important kick of my life, and I didn't even touch the ball.
Week 3, the Ravens will face the Cowboys in Rio de Janeiro. They played down there to start the season. It was the Chiefs and the
Eagles.
The Chiefs and Chargers did, and then the year
Packers,
before it was Eagles, Packers.
Okay,
yeah.
so we've played a couple times now down in Brazil. This game will be electrifying. Dak Prescott, saw him bopping into work. He looked like he was jacked up.
Much happier.
He did have a little pep. He looked lighter.
Oh, yeah.
He looked lighter.
Yeah.
What's that about?
He looked jacked up about life.
He's got defense.
Yeah, he's going in.
Pickens almost signed his tag.
Yeah, well,
He's jacked up about it.
will George Pickens be a part of this Week 3 game in Rio de Janeiro? Let's go around the room. This is the question of the day. George Pickens is thinking about doing his franchise tag, even though we were certainly told that he signed his franchise tag, which led us to believe maybe he's going to get traded. Now, if he signs a franchise tag, Dallas Cowboys could do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
He's locked in for at least a year, maybe another. If he doesn't show up, it doesn't count as a year, so he's got him in the next year. And you can get franchise tag twice.
Yes, you can.
Okay, you used to be able to get franchise tagged an unlimited amount of times. Then you can get franchise tagged 3 times. Now you can get franchise tagged twice. George Pickens can choose to use one of the franchise tag years, which the Dallas Cowboys said he was going to play under. But Mulliget's is his agent.
Mm-hmm.
That just doesn't feel like it's a real thing. D-Butch, is George Pickens playing in Rio de Janeiro Week 3 with the Dallas Cowboys against the Ravens?
It's hard to guess what Jerry Jones is ever going to do. That year last year was unbelievable. You got one of the highest paid wide receivers already, the highest paid quarterback in the league, APY. I'm going to say no. He will not be a Cowboy.
No, George Pickens will not be a Dallas Cowboy. He's not on the graphic. If you did see, he is not on the graphic for Rio de Janeiro. Let's go to one half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys AP Tone. You have an AP vote for all the awards in the NFL. We need to start looking into those about the biases that are potentially happening within those votes for sure. I'm not saying for you, Tone.
Like
maybe, though. Actually, what do we know? We don't really know anymore. Do you think George Pickens will be playing for the Cowboys in Brazil?
Butsy said it's hard to know what Jerry's going to do. It's also hard to know what George is going to do. So, no, I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay, so that's 2 no's. Let's go to the toxic table at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. Ty, you first. Do you think George Pickens will be playing the Ravens in Brazil?
April 28th right now, that is an awful lot of time for George Pickens to raise hell, raise a ruckus, do whatever he's going to do. No, I do not think he's going to be a Dallas Cowboy.
Okay, like Michael Parsons, you think he's going to be on his way out? You obviously reaped the benefits of that in the Green Bay Packers organization. Traded a couple picks for it, but I think you would say job well done to
Policy?
Gutekunst and policy.
Yeah, and policy.
Ed's policy.
Ed's policy up there. Carmon's boy, obviously.
Right, yeah.
Boston Connor, do you think George Pickens is with the Dallas Cowboys?
I think so. Yeah, just because the flash, the flair, everything that Jerry loves. And look, it is April 28th, and we've heard Jerry say it like, hey, I'll stir some shit up just so people are talking about the Cowboys. Shit, I don't care. And Pickens with CeeDee Lamb, it's an entertaining brand of football. Let me ask you, what's the highest viewed regular season game in the history of football? Oh, Cowboys Chiefs Thanksgiving, and George Pickens was on that field, and he knows, hey, people love this guy. Now that Dak is walking in like that, you think Dak's that happy if he knows that George Pickens isn't going to be there. Dak is that happy because he knows he's got the best damn tandem in the entire league.
Jeremy Fowler says last week the Cowboys received verbal commitment via email from George Pickens' agents that the star receiver is signing his franchise tag. He is yet to sign the tender, as Todd Archer has reported. Dallas still has no plans to trade him. Now, that email there that they received that said he's going to sign his franchise tag is what sent every insider into a frenzy saying George Pickens signed the franchise tag. It's just kind of how it was being reported day of the draft, which led us to think he's going to get traded. AJ Hawk, you're the final one to give your official. Go ahead.
Is an email verbal?
There's a voice memo in it.
Okay,
Yep.
just want to go.
He signed it.
Yeah, I am.
You think that's the email?
Yeah, that's it.
Is there a subject or no subject?
Ooh.
Or you think it says GP?
GPFT.
GPFT, question mark?
It's a subject. From that agency, it's a subject on there.
I think there has to be urgent.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Urgent.
we them boys. Maybe.
Urgent, we them boys.
Yeah.
That could be. It's pretty catchy.
Yeah, immediately you're like, oh shit, let's listen to this.
AJ, what are your thoughts on George? What are your thoughts on them boys, the Cowboys, and George Pickens' relationship with them?
I do not believe he will be there week 3 in Brazil. I think he eventually signs his franchise tag and gets traded.
What if he gets traded to the Ravens?
Okay, that's a possibility.
Then he is.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You're right.
Yeah, I guess there's only
And then the
30
Ravens
teams.
back out.
Oh, because that's what they do.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's also a chance he's on the Cowboys and he's just jacking around and misses the flight down there and playing the game.
Like in Vegas.
He's on team.
Yeah.
It could happen.
Had played the week 2.
Yeah, and plays week 4. Just
goes to check out the favelas.
Man, I didn't have my passport.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you guys have a passport?
That's
that whole process is redundant, I would say.
And it's an oversight because he's not technically on the team, so they didn't check to see if he had his passport for this game.
Yeah, because they can't put him on the graphics.
Yeah.
They can't do anything at this point.
I like that one.
Fuck. GP, you need your passport. I think you need to get that just in case. Or is he going to raise hell?
I think GP's got a lot of hell raising.
I think so too. I genuinely believe that. All right, let's get the hell out of here, shall we? There's a new addition to the desk here at LA Dodgers Cap. This is a tribute to Bob Kevoian of the Bob and Tom Show, the man that did my wedding, a man who I moved into a house across town to be a neighbor of alongside his wife, Becky, and his brother-in-law, Frank, and the entire crew over there. A man who has literally been a part of every single step of my microphone talking life. A lot of people know I got my start with Bob and Tom. They are a radio show, a morning radio show here in Indianapolis, Indiana that was syndicated to 180 different stations at one point, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern. And every person that drove a truck like my dad did and everybody that was around any of these cities knew exactly who Bob and Tom were. I knew who they were because they had a little bit of a run on the WB network maybe. Whenever I was in high school, they would run at night. So I'd known them from the car and I'd known them from watching their show. And when I get to Indianapolis, I know that they are in town and I'm this massive fan. I actually know who they are. Every single comedian in the history of comedy stopped through their studio. They owned it outright, totally. They were, a lot of people claim to be an inspiration for this particular show. The Bob and Tom Show is the inspiration for this show. And Bob was a guy who inspired me and motivated me to do everything. The first time I did stand-up is because Bob Kevoian said you could do it. The first time I did this show, Bob Kevoian was the one who said you could do it. He wrote for me, texted me, sent me stuff. Alongside Becky in the Thunderdome in our old office, he came through, wanted to help. This is just from not too long ago. He had been battling cancer for a while. They were taking, he was taking some off the books trials to maybe fix it. And I think everybody around him kind of understood what was kind of happening in front of our eyes. And I think he knew it as well. And he ended up being a Hall of Famer in the radio world. And he was somebody that was really special to everything that I'm doing and everything that I am. I will miss the shit out of him as he passed away as we were heading out to Wrestlemania, and everything's been such a blur, and I wanted to wait until we had the hat here on the desk to really pay him his tribute that he deserves. But I love Bob Kevoian. Bob Kevoian is a huge piece of my entire life puzzle, my entire life journey, and he'll be remembered forever by me as a man that helped me in every single stage of basically my professional existence. So I love him. Rest in peace, Bob. To Becky, to his entire family, I'm so sorry that you guys have obviously had to go through this. The way he went out was with his best friends surrounding him, his wife surrounding him. They're listening to a Beatles album, and which is his favorite. They're a super musical family. He loved music. He made songs. Actually, the last time he was in here, he made a song, which is hilarious to think about what his final words were, which is like so him. They listened to this album, and I guess literally he took his last breath as the last song was kind of wrapping up with his friends and family surrounding him. And he's a wonderful man, and I was lucky to know him, thankful to know him. And I'm sure he's smoking 4,000 cigarettes in heaven right now. I assume he is doing that. But yeah, we love you, Bob. You did good, man. I appreciate the hell out of you, Bob. Yeah, he was awesome, man.
Yes, he was.
He was a cool dude. Just such a smart ass all the time. Such a smart. I mean, his house. You had to push a nipple to get to it. Like to get to a back room that he had, which was a studio. They had like hidden. It was like everything about his life was just like thought out, funny, fun. Like everything about him. His time, every time I was around him was great. And I'm thankful for him. I'm very, very thankful for him. But this will be for him. And also, I mean, it sucks that he's not going to be able to watch fucking Shohei, in this team right now. But I know he loved experiencing everything that happened with the Dodgers. He was a huge Colts fan. The Bob and Tom show is so fascinating. They started in Michigan, okay? Tom Griswold, Bob Kevoian, they started in Michigan. They come down to Indianapolis to kind of run their shit. Then they start creating them business-wise. They start this show, this morning show. They start getting guests. They start really taking over Indianapolis, Indiana. They start doing really well. And then all of a sudden they start syndicating their show. And all of a sudden they boom, 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 boom. They got offered to go to Sirius at the same time like Howard Stern got offered. They stayed on free radio just because they wanted to hit everybody in the drivers because Sirius wasn't as big yet. And they maintained that throughout. Tom Griswold, Chick McGee, Christie, I think Sam Griswold, Tom's kid, they're still doing the show right now. They're still doing this, still doing free radio in the morning, and they're just like absolute legends. And they took care of me and kind of set us up, and Bob was literally the biggest supporter of all time. Some comedian came in to Bob and Tom show, and he had these questions listed out in front of him, and then his answers. And then we were all handed the questions, okay? This is a comedian that I was like a big fan of. Comes in the studio, and then lo and behold, I don't say anything, but I'm watching these people just ask the question, and then I'm watching him read answer, read joke. Okay, then next one. All good jokes, I would say. But then my immediate thought is like, well, who wrote that? Like who? Yeah. And I thought we were, I thought it was anything. I almost felt like, like kayfabe. I almost felt like kayfabe. I was like, oh no, like this is how this goes. I grew up in a car. I was in a car a lot, so like talk radio and stuff like that. I almost felt like, oh no, this is one of those like cheating husband, like gimmick character. I didn't know. I thought this was like this entire thing. So I was like mad. I was like, I didn't fucking know that. I can't trust anybody anymore. Like what is the deal here? And Bob goes, a lot of these comedians, they got other people writing their shit. They're just incredibly at delivering or whatever. You can't judge them for it. That's their fucking thing. They don't write the song. They just sing it or whatever. He goes, if stand-up comedy you think is so easy for you to, I'll write the shit, you do it, or we can write it, you do it. Why don't you do that? I was like, fuck you, I'll do it. He goes, all right, let's go. And we rented out theater. That is literally, he helped me write the entire thing. And then we did Uncaged. We filmed it. And that was literally like kind of our relationship. It started from that. And like everything we did, he was like helping and writing and sending ideas. Because whenever you're on the air doing radio, especially 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. trying to fill time, I mean, that's before internet, that's before that shit, you're just trying to fill time. So many ideas for things that could cross over into internet, hey, we did this. And even if it wasn't the exact idea, it's like, oh, that's a good premise to kind of build off of. It was like, he's just always helped, always, literally since day one. And yeah, the world will miss him. The world will miss him. But he did good, man.
Absolute legend.
Absolute fucking legend.
Yeah.
Actually.
Legit.
So many cigarettes.
Beast.
I mean, cigarettes did exactly what they said they would do.
Yeah.
You know, like the cigarettes did exactly what he thought and said they were going to do, you know? And I think he said, well, that's just, they moved him into vapes.
Yeah.
Because he was told, like, hey, better alternative here. He was just mowing
them down.
I mean, just blowing through these.
He lived.
He did, brother. He fucking did. Legit. And he was always humble. Like, never.
He was very nice to the Bugle Boys, which
Yeah,
was great.
big time.
Always appreciative.
And his backyard just had like a par 3 over a pond. Like, he was just like, everything was like, hey, let's have a good time. Pool, like, let's have a good time. House, the way it's set up, let's have a good time. We got this, let's have it. It was just always like such a fucking. The world lost a good one. And Becky, who was his tag team partner, I mean, they were like a perfect tag team there. Sad, man. But 'tis life. We shall continue. Because you have to.
Yeah.
Actually. We love you, Bob. We miss you, Bob. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. Let's do the sports tomorrow in the biggest way. 6 games tonight. Let's have NBA playoffs. Here we go. If they're still happening, the series are good.
Yeah.
NHL, if they're still happening, series are good. So let's remember that as we're watching these things. Now, if teams are just slaughtering teams tonight, like that could happen in basketball, there's 11.5, 12.5 point spread tonight.
Yeah.
There's some potential ass beatings on the way. Just take back everything I just said, and let's just
We'll reload tomorrow.
We'll reload tomorrow. We'll say tomorrow is going to be awesome, but let's assume there's going to be great shit tonight out of the playoffs. Let's assume the NFL is going to continue to cook. Golf is happening in a huge way, which we were obviously pumped up about. F1's taking place. IndyCar just started, I think, their shit for the Indy 500.
Yep.
Okay, so NASCAR's
almost May.
It is almost May, just a few days away. NASCAR's in the middle of its season. I think there's a guy, Bill would know this better. There's a man named Cletus. Cletus, my name's Pat. This is AJ. D-Butt.
What up, Cletus?
That's one half of the Hammer. Dahn. Cowboys AP Tone. Toxic Tables here at Boss Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Boys in back there, graphic design boys. I believe he is a NASCAR driver, but also a YouTuber. Bailey McComas, who has a shattered ankle, explained to me who this lad is. Incredible name. I've had multiple people tell me that we need to link up with him. I've heard he's putting on an event over in Brownsburg, which I used to live next to. There's a drag strip over there that they race, and it's loud.
That's
you know,
awesome.
like Todd Monken talked about the music at practice, and the neighbors asked for him to turn it down, and he said, you need to move. Living in Brownsburg, which I did, this strip, whenever it was operating, very loud, very cool. I've been there before. A lot of booze over there, watching a lot of horsepower kind of showcase. I guess Cletus is putting together an event over there. Hey, we'd love to say what's up, dude. We'd love to chit-chat. I think he's a YouTubing racer person. Excited to get his thoughts on G1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cletus.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear what Cletus has to say about G1 racing. I'm excited about it.
Pinnacle. We know. Already know that.
It's called the Indy 800 Burnout Rivals. Cletus and Cars and Indy 800 returning May 1st and May 2nd, 2026. Cletus and Cars event details. Let's go ahead and scroll down here. Let's get some infos on this. Burnout Rivals. Can you go over the Burnout Rivals part? Bill just crutched back here. Bill, sit your ass down.
Jesus.
On Saturday, May 2nd, the fan favorite Cletus and Cars Burnout Rivals will return with both a professional and open competition. Pink slips may be going.
Oh,
maybe in the
like
open.
that.
Registration is now open for the professional and open competition portion of the event through Freedom Factory. Entries are $100, and each ride is subject to approval from Freedom Factory before admittance into the event. Each entry includes a burnout vehicle, driver, and tow vehicle. All Burnout Rival competitors must follow these rules: 1, helmet; 2, neck collar. Need those. 3, fire suit. Okay, so what the fuck is this?
Yeah,
Bill.
so this is incredible. So they pour a dedicated little bit of concrete, and then it's just, you can either be an open person that comes in and brings a vehicle, or there's like some professionals to come around and do it. It's incredible. There's just rubber flying everywhere. You can't breathe anything. It's great.
Okay, so they pour.
It's a fresh pad of concrete, like in the middle of the drag strip.
Okay.
So that way they don't mess up the drag strip at all. But then they will also, the one year that I went, they were doing drag pulls. They did bring out some of the rocket cars to do the drag. It's just a great time hanging out at the drag strip.
Okay, so it's a lot of horsepower
Yeah.
on display at the drag strip.
Yeah.
Okay, which I respect. I also appreciate them saying, hey, we pour new concrete so you actual people don't get pissed off at
Yeah.
us. That's putting out a lot of fires. We have to do that in our world. Are these like nitrous rush cars? Like is Nick getting his Subi Impreza in there or with the carbon fiber hood and the fart bucket on the back?
Sure.
Is he getting in there? Like
it can be anything. So like I saw there was like a guy that had like a Ford F, I think it was like a 650 that he turned into a burnout vehicle. It's also people that just bring in little like Honda Civics that are juiced to the gills just to do burnouts. It's a pretty good time.
Okay, so it's burnout fest, not race. They're not drag stripping against each other. They're burning out against each other.
They will also do the drags. I don't think you can do open on the drags. I wasn't there while they were doing open on the drags, at least. I was just there for Burnout Fest. And then they also do the Freedom, I think it's 800, which is all Crown Vics. And it's a bunch of YouTubers or notable people that actually race an 800-mile thing in Crown Vics.
Are you in there, or is that because of the ankle injury you're not going to be able to do it?
Yeah, unfortunately, I had to get on the IR. Have to miss out this year.
The Indy 800. I'll tell you, I have inhaled some fumes at this Brownsburg track. It's a good time. I don't think I've ever seen somebody have a bad time at this place.
How old is Cletus?
Young guy, probably
Come on,
mid-20s.
If he named after.
Yeah, there's chance.
What is it? This is part of it?
Monster truck?
With the
I was going to say, if monster trucks are fucking running over cars.
I believe
is
this
that Grave
last
Digger?
year's. They got it all.
Yeah, I went 2 years ago, so this is last year's. That's incredible.
This is Cletus's and Friends thing? Is this?
Yeah, it's a 2-year thing. Bruce pulled it up. I think this is the highlights from last year.
Oh, Cletus.
I like what we're
Good
doing
air.
all of a sudden. I like what we're doing all of a sudden. Indy 800 qualifying time. Oh, they're just going in a tight little circle over there. All right, Cletus, we'd love to chat about it. If you want to come through, come on through. We can race something in here probably.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We can race something in here.
Yeah, why not?
Chairs, maybe
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
rocket on it.
RC car.
We can get maybe Tim McAfee to come in here and Tim Allen this thing and maybe put a little rocket power on a couple of these chairs. You know what I mean? Go down the basement, you know, do the whole fucking thing. in one of these chairs.
How is Tim Allen doing? You still bringing it?
Oh, yeah.
Never stop.
Absolutely still bringing it.
Never stop.
Yeah, Tim Allen could sell out theater in any city he wanted for the rest of his life, I think. So I think he has.
Toy Story 5 just dropped a new trailer today. So
Looks great.
And also, I think. No. Nope, now's not the time.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
Yeah,
but
now
you're right. Yeah,
now
hold on to that one.
Yeah, we'll keep that one. Right there. That was. You know, sometimes whenever we're at the super duper sooty events, you like hear stuff from people, and it's like, I don't think I'm supposed to hear it.
Yeah, all the time.
I don't
Big
think.
news about shifting gears, or
Great show.
yeah,
Is that what it's called?
yeah.
Be a friend, tell a friend something nice about change.
Wednesday.
We're gonna sit together.
ABC.
Great work in the back, boys. Great work back there. Yeah, big thumbs up.
Those new Toy Stories suck, too.
Fuck
sorry.
you.
Hey,
Fuck you.
Are you
That is
kidding
not
me?
true
They
at
stink.
all.
The first three were unbelievable.
3. Boom.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I agree.
You
I
read the
didn't love
same
4.
tweet. 4 was great. You guys read the same tweet
don't
this
know.
morning,
Forky
and
kinda
now you're all just,
sucks.
yeah, you know
I
what?
didn't
They're
read it.
right.
I didn't see this tweet. I'm in the middle of Toy Story with my daughter.
Bingo.
It's a good run.
4's bad?
Stop at 3.
I don't
Four
know
is
if
not
it's
bad at all.
but it doesn't
It's not
bring
bad.
the requisite juice that 1 through 3 do.
Disagree.
Well
In my
said.
humble opinion.
Forky sucks.
5, they're getting the juice back.
3 is not great.
iPad.
3 is
iPad's the
great.
new villain.
3 is not
So
great.
Wow.
that's a nice little, that's
3
a good
the
story.
wraps the whole
tweet.
trilogy up.
It's like the Carters.
It's not a trilogy if there's 4 or 5.
Well, yeah, it shouldn't have been.
Hey, we appreciate the hell out of you. We'd like to give a big thanks to you. We couldn't do this without you.
AJ's not doing it.
Prick.
Asshole.
Of course.
I'd be pointing in the wrong direction.
Great.
No, you're not.
All right, straight ahead.
Great, you
Point straight
dickhead.
ahead.
Yeah.
See,
As you
AJ
guys are
doesn't
pointing
want,
at me.
See,
Nope.
AJ doesn't want to show love to you. Okay, AJ
See?
did show a little bit of love to
I get
you.
Yeah, there.
It's really all about you. We love you. We appreciate you. All right. Where were you, AJ? AJ don't want to show love to you. Oh, okay.
There I
You
am.
get in on that one. Wow, what a hero. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice about changing your life. We're in this thing together. We'll see you tomorrow. Team on me, team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team. Goodbye.